Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Worldwide Company of Gamers podcast. I hope you are all doing well. Hope you've had a good weekend so far. I'm sorry the podcast wasn't on last week. It was a bit of a dry week, wasn't it? And I was working all weekend, so we were busy. But it's awesome that you're all here, everybody in the chat so far. Feel free to share this out, hit that like button. It's going to be a good one. We've got DZ on his way. We've also got hopefully Uso Vinny I just saw him jump in then, but jumped back out. I don't know if he's going to be here. It's a bit of a smaller panel tonight as OT is unfortunately unable to make it. But yeah, it's going to be a good one. How you're all doing this evening? Hope you're well. So yeah, let's get the show on the road. Tonight's going to be a juicy podcast. It's a bit of a more chilled, laid-back one. We're going to be discussing these topics and more. Mostly, we're going to look at PlayStation, Xbox, and also Nintendo Switch. Forgot to throw that in there. We're going to be having a look at all these games coming out of South Korea. It's crazy. So many awesome games coming out. Ultra Age is just around the corner. If you don't know what that is a PlayStation console exclusive, guys, coming out in December. So this myth that we've got to wait 4 months for another PlayStation game, it's not exactly true. But that's going to be pretty cool to look at. Ultra Age and also Lies of P or Pinocchio. It's a really cool looking game. We're going to dive into all of that stuff. We've got our trusty source of all knowledge when it comes to all things East Asian, Akira, on the panel with us. So we'll definitely be diving deep into that with him. We'll also be covering GTA San Andreas. And looking at that absolute travesty that Rockstar have managed to create. It's like a Frankenstein equivalent of GTA. Unbelievable. Not just San Andreas, but GTA 3, GTA Vice City. At least it has a nice sky, right? At least it has a nice sky. We're going to look at Battlefield 2042, the good and the bad and the ugly. Apparently on PC it's pretty damn ugly, guys. So we're going to be diving into that, seeing what people's thoughts are, and more. Shout out to Uso Vinny in the chat. Uso, if you are free, Hawaiian guy, feel free to jump on the panel. I saw you dive in just before. Don't be shy. If you're free, would love you on board the panel, my dude. So feel free to jump on. It would be awesome for you to be here with us. I'll just type that in now in case. Jump on. Shout out to Dark Queen Gaming. What's good? Jimmy Chew. I love the name as always. Good evening, my dude. Glad that you're here. Donnell Brown will be tuning in later, but he's dropped a like. Thank you, Donnell. It's appreciated. Jonathan Martinez. What's good, my guy? Thank you for being here. And only on Xbox. Only on Xbox. Well done, mate, for being here. Great that you're here. So let's introduce the panel. We have so far Akira, what's good, my dude? How are you?
What's up, guys? Again, I've been playing a lot of Miles Morales. Pretty sure you can see that on on my Twitter. And again, I like I told Wooly, I cannot praise that game enough. Insomniac is so good at making games. It's so fluid. It's just everything is praiseworthy for me, and I'm just thankful that that it's there and they made it. I'm really excited for the next one. But apart from that, I'm also excited to, yes, like I said, from the East, aside from China, we have another contender, which is South Korea, and they have been showing some really cool games. I'm really excited to see the first proper South Korean single-player game that we get to play. In China have their Fist, and I wanna experience something from South Korea soon, maybe next year. But yeah, apart from that, thanks for being here, guys. Go for it, man.
Yeah, glad that you're here, my dude. Wilhelm, how are you, my guy? You doing well?
Um, yeah, I'm doing fairly well. Past couple of days have been kind of rough. Um, but other than that, I'm doing just fine. Especially I've been awaiting, this finally here with the guys again talking about games and stuff. And just want to say I love that and every time I'm here, and then Akira joins in, I'm eager. I want to, say, "Hey, Akira, how you doing?" But then Akira just goes on about like a political rant, going full Alex Jones before the show begins.
Yeah.
So I don't have time asking my pointless question. Because Akira, there's now a question I have. I've seen a clip of Seinfeld, where Jerry and George Costanza wanted to sell Jerry's pilot. He was doing like a pilot for some sitcom that failed in America. So they went to like some Japanese production company because Kramer told them so. He said, here in America you're just like you're just an everyone, but in Japan you're like an exotic fruit, like an orange, which are pretty rare in there. So I wanted to know, are origins rare in Japan?
Is it orange?
Yeah, Kramer said oranges are rare in Japan.
Orange, like wait, like you
fruit.
mean the fruit?
Yeah, fruit, that orange fruit. Is Kramer right?
What a
Wait,
question.
I need to ask. Is Seinfeld an old series? I've heard of it, but I don't know how old it is.
It is kind of old, Jerry Seinfeld back in the day had hair.
It's very old. It's over 20 years old.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something.
What's good, my brother?
Yes, oranges. No. Wait. It's not that oranges exactly. It's a special type of orange that is rare in Japan. The Mikan Mandarin orange. That one is rare because it was almost extinct, but then it started ramping up again, the growth for it. But it used to be rare.
However, plain now, orange aren't. But like those plain oranges.
No. The orange itself, no, they're not really rare. No.
It's like the funny thing is, in the episode, when they tried to sell Jerry's pilot, they brought those Japanese production guys like a bag of oranges.
No. The thing is, all right. The reason why they made the joke is because of this. Oranges are expensive in Japan. It's because of there is high demand for oranges being the most popular fruit in Japan, and there's limited supply for it. So orange is one of the more expensive fruits that you can sell in Japan. That's why it's pretty smart business decision to sell oranges here. That's why. Wow. It's not rare. It's just in demand, and there's a limited supply for it. It's the most popular fruit here.
You guys have the funniest conversations. Wilhelm, I love your questions, my dude. It's random and crazy.
That's why. Yeah, no, but that's very old, right? 20 years. So yeah, not anymore. All right. Not anymore.
Shout out to Toolman in the chat. Chris Righteous, my brother. Welcome, Chris.
Chris Righteous.
It's great that you're here. Chris, if you want to jump on, you're always welcome, my dude.
This man about to join that. PlayStation's trash, man. Like,
Mr. Sir Deezy, I'm so grateful and blessed that you're here, my dude. I've missed your beautiful voice. How are you?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. And hey to the panel, what's going on? It's been a while. I'll be here a little bit more often, probably for the next 4 weeks or so.
That's music.
But tonight's going to be an abbreviated. Tonight's going to be an abbreviated one. I'm only going to be able to be on for about an hour and a half, so I have to watch my time a little bit more.
We'll try and keep this podcast a little consolidated anyway, because we keep going past the 3 hour mark, and it's just too it's too long, man. It's too much fatigue.
Is that recorded? The Half-Life Alyx there?
Yeah, I'm recording it on my VR.
Told you, bro. It looks so good.
Bro,
You, man.
I'm like there grabbing a zombie's head, messing around with it. It's crazy, my dude.
That's the bright future of VR right
hitting
there.
him with my gun. I'm just hitting him with my gun and shooting. Oh, bro, I was just like experimenting, but I was trying to adjust to my environment because I have quite a small confined space to move around in my chair, so I was like bashing my hand on things, and I was trying to adjust. So if I'm a little rusty in this clip, I get better in the next clip. But yeah,
bro, I'm telling you, Willie, I know a lot of people say that VR is not that hot yet, but nah, that shit, that's the future right there. That can coexist with consoles, but the VR, they can actually ramp up if they do some more of this, like Half-Life Alyx. Like, I would totally jump into VR anytime if you get more of these games for me.
I gotta tell you, man, VR is a surreal experience. It's something that you really can't put in words. You have to.
Yeah.
You can't really explain it. You have to play it for yourself. And the reason why I enjoy VR so much was because my husband is not a gamer, but his very first gaming experience was him playing Astro's Playroom. Rescue Bot Mission on VR.
VR,
yeah. And that was his first experience, and like the way that brought him into the gaming universe, and how he's gravitated towards gaming. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
How he's gravitated towards the gaming experience. How he's gravitated towards the gaming experience, and that's like the magic of it. And like, you know, he just kind of saw me messing around with the VR and everything. And of course, I'd already had VR for about a year, 2 years before I'd moved over to the UK at that point. So when he finally played it, was like, it was his whole thing of wow. And like he would message me at work while I'd be working and whatnot, and he'd be like, "Oh, I just did this crazy thing, and and Astro was waving to me in VR," and I'm just like, and then he started playing Death Stranding in VR, because the PSVR has a theater mode where you could play all the PlayStation 4 games as well. So he was just like, even playing Death Stranding in theater mode in VR was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So
theater mode is sitting down, right?
Yeah. It's sitting down, but it's like it gives you a full 180 degree view of playing the game versus like, head tracking and stuff like that. So it's like actually sitting down in a theater and watching, playing. You'd have to try it, because like, if you ever get a PlayStation VR, you could play native VR games, and then you could play the non-native VR games like Uncharted or Death Stranding or something. And when you play those games, it turns the VR into like this ultra wide viewing thing, which is what they call it, theater mode. So that's, you get awesome. Yeah.
I can imagine that's pretty epic, playing Death Stranding in that way.
Yeah. So VR is awesome, and like, anybody who tells you that VR is just experimental and stuff, they really haven't experienced it, and it's well worth jumping into. Those
are the kind of guys that want to have a VR headset but don't have one, so
they don't have it, so they
told you about it. Yeah.
they talk shit. That's basically it. Yeah.
For real, I'll tell you something about VR. Right, Chris Righteous only wants to talk about Shin Megami Tensei 5. I love it. It does look fire, that game, my dude. So yeah, if you wanna wax lyrical about Shin Megami, I'm sure we'd all love to hear it, my dude. But
let's do it, bro.
That's up to you. But in the meantime, guys, I'll tell you a story about VR, right? 2 stories. I think one I've already mentioned, so I'll say that one after. But first things first, I played Ace Combat 7 in VR at my friend's a while back on PSVR in Cornwall. And I felt the G-force. Like, you go forward and you feel your body being pressed against the sofa. It's your mind playing tricks on you, making you feel things that aren't real. And like also I had this fold out gun when I was playing this kind of like VR party, this VR kind of party introduction thing with the Oculus Quest at my friend's house. And interestingly enough, as I folded out the gun and extended it, I felt the elastic tension of the weapon being pulled apart, even though there was no elastic there. It was like my brain was making me feel a resistance that didn't exist. It's crazy. It's not as apparent when you're sitting down, but it's very apparent when you're standing up. Like, I nearly fell over when I was playing Half-Life Alyx for the first time, because I went to open a door, and as the door came toward me, I nearly fell forward. I don't know why. It's like my brain was trying to adjust to it. So it is very unnatural, but in the coolest way. It's like a real revolutionary way of experiencing any kind of medium. VR is scary. It's
definitely mesmerizing. And like it's an experience you kind of have to take in small dosages, because it really is sensory overload.
Overwhelming, yeah.
Yeah, it's sensory overload because like reality in of itself is it's a very tangible experience. So like when you're playing these things that actually kind of place you, gaming is already one of the only gaming is the only medium that could give you such an active role within the experience. Reading makes you imagine. Movies you sit and watch, and but playing video games you actively participate. So like when you get this level of tangible belief already from gaming, and then you place that within the confines of virtual reality, where now you're not just participating, but you're actually first person experiencing and doing the motions without just pressing a button but moving around, then that in and of itself becomes like a whole other thing that blows your freaking mind on so many levels. So it's like I gotta tell people, like, if you can afford a VR, and it doesn't necessarily need to be a PlayStation or anything. Most people will know that I'm a PlayStation guy, but if you could afford to get any kind of VR experience, cop one, go get one, sit down and just kind of just experience one. It doesn't have to be PlayStation, it doesn't have to be Oculus, it doesn't even have to be a Vive. Just like get one and experience it. Like it's definitely gonna put you over the top, and like you're gonna see the potential of it, and then you're gonna be waiting for that next thing. So you're gonna be waiting for that next Astrobot, or that next Ace Combat, or one of my personal favorites is Eve. Yeah, I'm a massive space shooter fan. That's kind of what I grew up with when I used to play PC in my earlier days and stuff. Like Descent Free Space was one of my favorite space shooter games and whatnot. And so, Eve's VR thing that they'd released for both PlayStation and Vive and Oculus, that was something that was fantastic. And like from time to time, I'll fire that up and play it, and I'm just like, yo, this shit is legit.
That's
so
awesome, dude. You would like
at least, or you need to at least Sorry, go ahead, Fred. Sorry.
It's alright. I was just gonna say you would really like not Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, mate. I've spent so many hours on that game, but that game inspires awe, I tell you, and you could play that in VR.
Just very
You can also try Super Hot. Sorry, no. You can also try Super Hot in VR.
I want to download the John Wick simulator. That's a mod of Half-Life Alyx.
Super Hot. It encourages you to move, bro. Like you need to fucking move. You know what I mean? Like it's an actual workout to play Super Hot. I'm telling you. If you're so into it in that game, and you're really trying to live in the Matrix, that shit is a workout. I'm telling you, that game gives you a proper workout. And that's the thing, man. I just wanted to highlight this a little bit. The VR is only, let's call it this, it's only at this PS1 version right now. And PSVR 2 is basically the PS2 version. What it means is that the potential is not really tapped yet, and people are already blown away by it. People are already blown away. But what we can see, but it's still not really properly tapped. For example,
it's still in its infancy. And I keep saying it, like one of my pet peeves about VR games, and like especially the first person ones, is like the floating hands breaks the immersion for me a little bit.
Imagine when they're rigged to a real arms.
So like one of my favorite VR experiences was Hitman 3 in VR, because you actually were a head that when you looked down you saw the full body of 47.
Agent 47.
Agent 47. Yeah.
I got
so like
Hitman 3 in VR, dude.
Yeah. So like if you have a PlayStation VR, that's an exclusive thing that you could play, and
is it not
it
VR on PC?
Really. No, I don't know if they brought it over to the PC, but I do know that I do know that the Hitman 3, the entire Hitman 3 campaign is played. It could be played 100% through VR on PlayStation.
PlayStation. Doom and what's the other game? Doom also. And Resident Evil 4, Doom and Resident Evil 4. Actually, I've been, I tried it out, and VR is improving really well. I think developers are starting to figure out how to put you in the game properly without too much of immersion breaking, because it seems like Half-Life Alyx was like the first one that figured it out the most, right? But the thing is, like I said, VR has so much more to give or to show, and again, the PlayStation's trying to put more into it by putting DualSense features on PSVR 2. That's gonna be, it's gonna be another crazy thing.
You know what? If in my head right now, a dream game that I would want is a Returnal in 3D, a Returnal in VR, because that game's already a sensory overload with the DualSense and the 3D audio, and they're incorporating all that into the new 3D, into their new headset. And man, it's gonna be.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna finish up and say, like, things like these little innovations, like what you said, VR is still in its infancy, and a lot of people have said that. Fuck, I can't believe I forgot his name already. The ex head of PlayStation Worldwide Studios.
Herman Hulst. Jim Ryan.
No, not Jim. The ex.
Ken?
Not Ken. Not
Sean Layden.
Sean Layden. Yeah. How could I forget his name? How could I forget his name?
Okay.
Sean Layden has said. I know, right? No, Sean has said. Sean has been. You said that like VR. If you look at the trajectory of 3D games and everything, VR is at the state where we're just entering like the very first. He compared VR currently to like the PlayStation jumping from 2D to PlayStation 1 era. So like we're still in its infancy. We're still figuring out what works. We're still figuring out how to solve nausea. We're still trying to figure out how to solve vertigo. We're still trying to figure out how to solve we're still trying to figure out how to solve the immersion breaking with limbs, with showing limbs and full body within games and stuff like that. So like VR is coming a long way, and like the things that are coming along down the pipeline is going to be amazing, because VR is one of those. Now is probably a much better time for VR than even experimental stuff like 3D, like 3D gaming.
This is the thing that I wanted to mention before, is that I'm just very excited to see how the future of it all will look. Like the thing's already like impressive as hell. Like imagine like what can happen over time. Like, dude, the potential for porn games is insane.
This is a funny part, right? We're gonna talk about South Korea games. Well, one of South Korea's most famous companies, Samsung, right? Samsung has been working nonstop on patents to make VR more immersive. For example, they're trying to create something that can create, an illusion of smell and touch, and they're trying to really get you to enter the matrix properly. Like, they want you to achieve. They want you to achieve a level where.
Oh my god.
They want you to achieve a level when you're in the game, you really feel like you're in there.
The potential
like
to do some really messed up shit is huge. I'm just saying, if you've ever wanted to go places that you never dared go, then will be your time to do it, guys. All right? I'm just... No, but that was a joke. That was a joke. But although that is kind of true, it is a somewhat real situation where I really hope a crime is all but eliminated because of VR.
Those movies, right? Like Ready Player One or Free Guy. Those metaverse movies for games. They're not really impossible if you really think about it. They're not completely impossible, and that's the thing that I think VR is trying to catch up to.
Just avoid the metaverse. Whatever happens, do not go into the metaverse. This whole Facebook thing, it's a little scary, my dude. I mean,
it is scary.
It's scary
to live in there. Yeah.
We're not the generation that was born into being raised on, I don't know, Fortnite, being raised in the world of mobile phones. We were alive when Motorola released their first brick, and and people are like, who's Motorola? but legit, and Nokia, who are Nokia? But legit, like
I've seen people.
We grew up without the internet for a certain amount of years, and
except me.
Except Wilhelm. Wilhelm literally is like inside the mind of Charlie Sheen as we speak. But
there is a generation. There's literally now a generation that didn't know what the world was like before the internet. So,
it's bizarre, my dude. Like, there's a lot who are kind of nurtured and fashioned to fully embrace something like the metaverse, but when you really think about it, you kind of putting your entire perspective of reality in the hands of a corporation. It's a scary thought. That's why I want to keep it gaming. Always keep it gaming.
Yeah, keep it gaming.
But so VR is in its early stages, and it kind of put me on a little thought here. You know how Microsoft said they're not interested in the VR space? Well, we know full well that what others create, Microsoft takes what others create, and I don't see them keeping that mindset, because when they see VR evolve, because like you said,
they're
VR is the PS1, Right now, it's in its PS1 stage VR. When it reaches its PS3 stage, for example,
They're gonna jump in. They're gonna jump in.
Of course, they're gonna, but they'll be behind. And they'll be playing catch up again. So for Sony, PlayStation to be this early invested in the VR space for 5 years now, I think they've been invested in it for 6 years. 6 years. Thanks, Daisy. What an incredible advantage and head start to be pushing the boundaries of not just console technology but VR technology as well. You can guarantee Sony will be at the forefront of it. They'll be working alongside, probably making partnerships in the future with
larger they'll be doing it with other people. They'll be doing it with other seasoned people, with Vive or even HTC or at some point
guarantee it. Mergers,
Facebook
partnerships, investments, and they'll be spearheading the technology aspects of VR and opening. You know what I've got in my mind, and I really want to kind of pitch this to Sony, but gloves that have deep haptic bass system implanted into the palm and into the back and into the around the finger area, and so when you throw a punch, you get this boom on the palm of your hand. This big heavy impact, but it's just a speaker, but you feel the bass vibrate through your hand, so it feels like you've hit something. Or
good, bro.
Or you've picked something up.
It's the new. Well, they already showed off the controller, so they've already confirmed that the new controllers for the next gen VR has got haptic technologies, much like the DualSense. So
and imagine when it goes to gloves, when it evolves to gloves, haptic gloves.
Yeah,
it's just. Bro, it's exciting, man. It's crazy. And the way that you move and position your hands dictates what weapon you spawn, for example. The potential is nuts, and we're only just getting started. This was a really cool subject to open up on. Go on about Firesprite, Akira.
Firesprite does VR before, right?
Yeah, so Firesprite's been at the forefront of AR and VR technologies because after when they became Firesprite, their first project was working with Team Asobi and working on the Astro, the Playroom virtual reality things in collaboration with Team Asobi for PlayStation. They were there at PlayStation launch, at the PS4 launch, and they've kind of been partners on just about every Astrobot or every Team Asobi game and stuff like that. And of course, they've worked on a number of VR releases as well, like the Persistence, which is really, really good. As a matter of fact, if you have the Persistence, if you have PlayStation Plus right now, you probably should get the Persistence on PlayStation right now, because it comes enhanced on PlayStation 5, and you get those enhancements when you hook up the PlayStation 5 to your PlayStation VR. So you get all that stuff. And Persistence is also in VR, and you can play the full thing. And that's a really, really good game. So they've been long-time partners. So gosh, I can't stop gushing about these people every time I talk about them.
I hope that's a sign, bro. I hope.
Hush.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have news when I have news. Till then, hush.
Okay. I'll behave. But I love you, bro. But Shaky Shako makes a great point. Nintendo invested in VR, except it was the budget version, and they also stopped, but they did more than Xbox, at least. Yeah, it's true. And you know what? Hats off to Nintendo, because I think, to a degree, the Nintendo Wii was kind of one of the forerunners to making people think outside the box when it comes to immersion-based augmented reality. that kind of set the path for VR, in my opinion. Like when we first saw the massively downgraded, but albeit still freaking awesome when it was initially shown, trailer of Red Steel, right? Yeah, the game itself.
Oh
was
yeah. Red Steel. Yeah, that was.
When you saw the Red Steel trailer, didn't your imagination run wild? Wasn't your mind blown? That would have definitely inspired VR.
Wasn't that a Ubisoft game too?
It was.
Ubisoft published game. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was Ubisoft published and made, I think.
Oh yeah, true.
See, this is my thing that I have with Ubisoft is like they're hit and miss. They're so hit and miss. They'll think of some awesome shit and then they'll abandon it after. But like Red Steel was pretty dope for the Wii.
It had so much potential, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ubisoft used to be. Sorry.
I was going to say they pretty much invented the VR controller. They just didn't invent the headset to go with it. But...
Ubisoft used to be ahead of its time. You know, that's kind of like the problem.
To be fair, most people didn't know this, but Nintendo's first jab at VR was the Virtual Boy.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
That was many years ago. As a matter of fact, the Virtual Boy came out right around the time of Donkey Kong 64. Because I remember playing Mario Tennis on Virtual Boy, and that was pretty dope. But it was like a very rudimentary VR thing. It had a controller, and you stuck your head up to this visor, and you played VR that way. But yeah, Nintendo dabbled in the VR space. They were a little bit early, but it was a very rudimentary kind of thing with it. But they have a history. Nintendo has a history of dabbling within certain things and whatnot. But like, VR, like you said, VR is going places, and I don't think people should sleep on this.
I agree. Shout out to Social Destruct who bought me and sent me as a wedding gift my Oculus Quest 2. He's not here watching right now, but if you guys probably know Social Destruct, who he is. He's quite he's on Twitter a lot, and he's a really cool dude, and he's a gaming buddy of mine. And he actually bought me and sent me the Oculus Quest 2, and it kind of got me into VR recently. But I've been sleeping on VR, my dudes, because I mean, I've experienced PSVR twice, I think, in total, but I only played one game, Ace Combat. But I've not experienced something quite like Half-Life Alyx, and it was something that it's just beyond explaining, my dudes. It's just crazy.
Beyond
explanation.
It is one of the so like VR is, like we said, experimental, but like there are key software titles that literally do the job of convincing you of the potential. So like there's those experiences like Ace or like Ace Combat, where the game is great and whatnot, fine, but it's not tailored 100% to VR.
Well,
it's
the
like
frame rate for one makes you feel very, very motion sick.
So like there are things that just aren't well tested for it, and they're adapted from the 2D experience, and brought into a VR philosophy. And then there are those that are my food's here.
No worries, you go get food.
And then there are those that are specifically and there are those developers that specifically sit down and address and combat and research everything about the VR experience, and then create something tailor-made for it. So you'll get those key things like Alex, and Astro Rescue Bot mission
Mm-hmm.
VR, which are well, well, well made towards that. And so, when those games come about, thank you so much. When those games come about and they show you better than everything else, then you start to see the potential. So it's like it's also something that you just can't convince people of fully until they have the right software. So like for me, for my husband, that was Rescue Bot mission.
Mm-hmm.
For you, that was
Half-Life
Alex, and
yeah.
for a lot of people, that was Half-Life Alex.
There's
but
one
like
thing
I
that
said,
bothers me about Half-Life Alyx, and it's what you pick up can't be used as weapons. It's the only thing that bothers me, because I know that does exist in games. Like, there's no way to a metal pipe. I get a metal pipe. What's cool is I can pry a door open, but there's no weight behind it so that I can hit an enemy with it, and I can't interact with my environment in that way. But I can forgive that, considering this game came out 3 years ago. And
well, that's likely just you also have to think about it. That's likely a game. That's likely something that they never made as a gameplay mechanic. Like there are things that they consider within the development time frame and when they want to release things. So those things are considered, but probably never made the cut for it because they never had enough more time to research. That was probably a whole lot more things that they needed to do.
But maybe Half-Life Alyx 2 or whatever comes out.
Whatever they come up with,
that would happen.
There's always a chance to improve upon gameplay ideas. So like that likely might have been something that they had to cut. So you never know.
But that's a small criticism. If it's even a criticism, it's more of probably a design choice. But apart from that, full immersion. And the weapons are so satisfying. Like I got my shotgun, and it's so punchy, and bro, it's like, yeah, this is going places. And like you said before, Akira and DZ, we've only scratched the surface. So to think what will be possible in just 5 to 10 years' time, and how the PS5 will be spearheading that, along with probably, Vive and Facebook and Oculus. It's really exciting, to consider. But no, I'm really glad that we could open up on this topic. It's an unexpected one. We weren't expecting to talk about, but me playing this game and showcasing it kind of got us all talking about it, and I love that. A dynamic, natural conversation about something exciting and gaming related is, it's what I love. So yeah, shout out to you guys, you awesome panel. Should we move on to the next topic?
Well, let's get our introductions going and jump right into the. Let's get our introductions and then jump right into what's going on for today.
100%.
So I'll just go ahead and start us off. Welcome to Worldwide Company of Gamers, everyone. My name is DZ. Here today with y'all for a limited time. But I'm happy to be here. I'm joined by the amazing, talented hoster of all things spaces,
Wilhelm.
Akira. We've got Akira here.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, like I said, I just said that Insomniac are wizards, and I fucking love Miles Morales, and I'm excited to do to see what they can do next. Especially Wolverine.
Big facts.
Fuck yeah.
Big facts. Yeah, and such an accurate description of Akira, DZ. I couldn't agree more. I love it. I thought you were talking about Wilhelm until you said host of all things spaces, and I realized it was Akira.
But we've got Wilhelm here, who's also awesome. Glad to have you on, buddy. It's been a while since I've been on with you, so
thanks.
Come on,
awesome with you too.
Big yourself up, DZ. Wilhelm, tell us about DZ.
DZ is certainly a guy on the panel. Just joking. Yeah.
That's, I don't talk myself up. I don't talk myself up much, guys. That I'm just too modest. Um,
He's,
and then of
have you ever
course,
heard of a modest model before? Well, these easy first, guys.
fucking hell, bro.
But I see the chat. Yeah, the Game Pass sponsorship section. Yeah, I didn't. Like somebody in the chat say, did he miss the Game Pass sponsorship section? I missed. I didn't get my check, so no, not sponsoring them today.
This video is
Nothing.
brought to you by Game Pass. Stick around for more info.
Okay.
Just
Dude, I made a rant about that. Like, dude, I remember that DZ. I posted about GTA Trilogy. I said that I would love to play San Andreas only because it's the only one special to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got like 6 dudes selling Game Pass to me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And it turned out
that's wild.
Turned out absolute garbage, but we'll get into that. But
Oh, I have a bone to pick with that one.
we'll get into that. But first things first, let me finish off this intro to DZ. For those who don't know, DZ is a game developer. So if you're watching for the first time and you want an insight into the technical aspects of how things are made, how games are made, and the way that they're designed, or you have questions you want to ask in the chat, go ahead. For those who don't know Akira and Wilhelm, they are both games aficionados, game connoisseurs. They put most people to shame with their knowledge of video games when it comes to all things Japanese, Chinese, Korean, and Western as well.
Asia, bro. Asia, Western.
And Western as well. Akira and Wilhelm have great knowledge because they're basically, they don't have a life, they're no lifers. No, but on a serious note, no, they're awesome. They are really passionate and stick around if you want to know all things gaming.
I want to tell you something, like, Naughty Dog missing out. Like, they need to hire that man DZ. Like, they're missing out, bro. Missing out some talent.
Naughty Dog. If I ever got Naughty Dog, y'all, I would lose my modesty. I swear to fucking God.
You'd be like, "What am I doing speaking to you peasants?" I'm with
my modesty because they're pinnacle, but they're also intimidating.
I'm with God, Druckmann now.
Naughty Dog. Guys, sorry.
They're intimidating to me, so like I don't know. That's probably something that I want in my career in like the next 5 to 7 years that I'm working towards. But
you know what? For Halloween, bro, I'm gonna send you a gift. Right, for Halloween, I'm gonna send you an envelope, and in it is a black card, just pure black, and written on it is literally just the words "Directed by Neil Druckmann." Because that, just that alone is a little terrifying.
Like, I'm telling you, man, like, Naughty Dog is Olympus, like for a lot of people, Naughty Dog's like Olympus right now, and it's also for good reason too.
It's crazy, bro, because I was playing The Last of Us 2 again from PS Now because my brother lost my version. I lent him my PS4 Pro and The Last of Us 2, and his PS4 Pro got stolen when he was at a hotel. So yeah, I lost my PS4 Pro and The Last of Us 2, but PS Now has it currently on, and I was playing it, and you know what's crazy? It puts you in this, it completely draws you in straight away to the point where you're just feeling everything the game makes you feel, and there's this, it just completely suffocates you from reality and keeps you completely hooked within the characters and the world and the story.
It's a breathless experience, man. Like
it's almost exhausting. It's almost exhausting in the best possible way. So yeah,
I need to replay Last of Us again because like I said, I lost my old PSN, so I lost all my trophies. I might get into it again.
Yeah,
I love the second game, but like that, I remember when it came out. I already heard the stories of like people saying that game makes PlayStation suffocate, and when I when I started the game, I see where it's all coming from. My PlayStation sounded like a fucking jet engine. Like I was literally like getting anxious because especially like those survival horror games. I love to play them, in the dark when it's late, and it was like I don't know, like 2 a.m. in the morning. I played The Last of Us. My PlayStation sounded like a jet engine, and I heard my dad walking down the floor. I thought like, oh no.
And this is the thing, man. Like, it's true. I can actually relate to what Wooly says. Last of Us is one of those games that actually makes me feel a bit exhausted after playing it because I really felt like I was in that world. Like it was like I'm enjoying myself while I was playing it, but after playing it, I feel like
Emotionally
heavy.
battered. Yeah, a little depressed,
like,
bro. A little depressed, if I'm honest.
Like I feel really heavy. Like like I was fucking Joel fighting those. Like I was him. Like I was exhausted mentally.
You feel for the characters, dude. They feel
real.
and
only it's very rare that a game can put me in such a state. And Naughty Dog can always do it. Even with Uncharted, man. Uncharted. Damn. Yeah. Naughty Dog. I'm pretty excited what they make next. Like whatever that game is gonna be, I'm gonna play it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Shout out to Marty Bison. For those who don't know, he's a big supporter of Salty's Gaming Podcast. It's great that he's here. Wasn't expecting that. Bro. It's great that you're here, Marty. Thanks for being here, brother. And Compost Smurf, good to see you here too, brother. Thanks for being here. No facts, it's crazy. So yeah, guys, it's going to be an awesome show. We've got an awesome panel, and already the conversation is good. It's good shit. So let's get on to this.
And we also have not in addition to all of those things, we also have a giveaway, courtesy of me. So like,
I'm so sorry.
One
DJ,
lucky.
I forgot to advertise it. I'm such an idiot.
No. You're fine. One lucky gamer who has a Switch today will get a copy of Metroid Dread. There isn't any prerequisites other than that you need to have a Switch, and we will select. If you let us know that you have a Switch, one lucky person will be selected, and the panel will liaise with myself, and we'll get this going and whatnot. So all you gotta do is.
Sorry, go ahead.
All you gotta do is listen to the podcast. Let us know that you have a Switch, and we'll pick. I'll let the panel pick who it is, and they'll liaise with me, and we'll get your details, and we'll. And the panel is disqualified, unfortunately.
Yeah, facts.
Like Chris Wright just want to get that game second time, right? Right, Chris? You want that game a second time, bro?
Also, can I say that it's a shame that no one read my chat message where I called DZ a Hideo Kojima Rockstar Warlock winner.
Really?
Bro,
DZ, when you put out when your studio puts out the game, print that on your box art. Like, print that on the box. DZ is a cool game dev Hideo Kojima Warlock winner. It's an instant seller.
Today's a special day. Oh yeah, right. Speaking of Kojima, right? Today's a special day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the
20th anniversary. The 20th, man. Yeah. It's 20 years. Jeez. Like
20 years.
Is it MGS2 or MGS?
MGS2.
Is it MGS2? Yeah.
Yeah, MGS2 was released on November 13, 2001. So,
20 years ago, we first discovered smashable bottles.
Yeah, melting ice cubes. Melting ice cubes.
Yeah, for real. Honestly, bro, it's crazy how time has flown. But for real, dude, it's what an incredible genre, series and franchise. I've got 2 Metal Gear Solid tattoos, one all up my arm, one on my other arm, on my forearm, and those games changed shaped my life. They affected me deeply because they were my go-to thing when I was a kid, because I would struggle with my anger and my mum would sit with me and watch me play Metal Gear Solid because it was one of the only things that calmed me down. So yeah, I love that. I love that series, my dudes.
I promise.
Also-
I promise. After I've beaten all the Half-Life games, that I will jump into Metal Gear Solid.
Again,
Like,
it's another,
God
you know,
damn it.
once again, another special day. Death Stranding, 2nd year anniversary, bro.
I
Like,
know.
it's been 2 years. Jeez,
Is
it's
it
been
2 years today? Not 2 years today.
It's 2 years. Two
Well,
years.
No,
2 years.
it-
Yeah.
is it 2 years?
should
Didn't
be.
it come out on the 8th? It came out on the 8th, November 8th.
Wait. It's 2019, right?
Yeah, November
Yeah, it was
8th, 2019.
Yeah, it's 2 years.
2 years today or November the 8th?
No, November the 8th.
No,
It's over 2
no,
years.
it was. Yeah, it's over 2 years. Sorry, but yeah, what I'm trying to say is the anniversary
Yeah, it's
also
been out for
happened.
2 years. This
That's
week.
amazing.
The
And
past week.
it's crazy, man. Like,
Yeah, that's
wow,
cool.
like.
Time goes by so quick. It's nuts. So yeah, happy birthday to Metal Gear Solid. And whilst we are on that subject, I wanna just give a little bit of props to this podcast, guys, right? Because it was recently leaked. I say leaked. It wasn't leaked. It's been kind of common knowledge for us on this panel for a while now. But there was things being said on Twitter about a big game reveal happening this December. I'm seeing if I can find it. And it was recently kind of suggested. Here we go. I'll show you. I'll get my screen
The
up.
Irish singer.
Here we go. It was suggested, like, people are talking about it. There's a big game remake reveal dropping in December. And people were kind of hinting at it recently. Like literally just last week. And we already discussed this a while back. We had a awesome show on one of the episodes. I'm going to see if I can find it for you guys. Wooly_gamer. What's her name? Ava.
Ava, yeah, the Irish singer.
How do you spell her name?
Oh yeah, she had. I don't know if it was really Ava because they had this Irish way of writing it.
Here we go. There we go. I'm going to play this quick clip for you guys to watch. And this is literally from episode... which episode is it? I can't remember. It's from about 4 weeks ago. 5 weweeks ago.
Chris Ratch's Chrono Cross remake would fucking make my year, you know what I mean? Like,
so
Chrono Cross is...
There is a chance that it's Chrono Cross, but there's also a possibility that this is Metal Gear Solid.
I got in and I literally sang with them all through kind of college and everything, and just recently wrote a song for a PlayStation game with Michael McGlynn. So even though I'm not actually actively in the group at the moment, like...
Just go back there to the PlayStation game. What's that all about? Tell us.
Yeah, so that actually happened about a year and a half. It was just as the pandemic hit. Michael got in touch and just said, listen, we're writing music for a remake of a PlayStation game, and he does that a lot. Like, he's done a lot of writing for different games that are very well known, but I'm actually not a gamer myself. But so anyway, he said, look, it's an Irish language piece that they're looking for. So really what I was involved with was the lyric writing in the Irish language, and his daughter sang on the track, and his wife arranged part of the choral parts, and so did Michael, and he also worked with me on the language side of things. So it's actually going to be announced at Christmas, the name of the game. I have heard of it now, and I have been told it is a big game, which is great.
Wow.
But it's going to be an Irish language piece in the game, which is brilliant.
Guys, holy shit. Did you listen to that? Did you hear that? Holy shit, guys. An Irish language game, an Irish language song, which we know that song is from Metal Gear Solid. It's a big game. She laughed almost nervously because she realizes, this is a game that's very, very popular and big. It's how she said it, right? And it's going to be revealed as a Christmas present for all us gamers. Isn't that amazing? So, what do you guys think it could be? So there you go, guys. This was back in early October. I think around October the 10th or something, this podcast was. But we got caught wind of this rumor, and this was a radio station of Ava, who is a music producer for a song being featured in a huge remake, a beloved franchise apparently. She has heard of it, and she can say it is a big game. So it sounds like a big deal to her, and she's not even a gamer. And another coincidence is this was happening, by her words, a year and a half ago. She worked on this game. Well, a year and a half ago, before the pandemic hit, what strong rumor was about? It was the rumor of Metal Gear Solid remake, right? So there's a huge kind of coincidence, and I'm kind of putting the pieces together here, guys. I've got my tinfoil hat on, but I have I would put money on a Metal Gear Solid game being in the works. I really hope it's MGS3. If it's MGS1, that has a few issues in the sense that MGS1 is extremely short compared to what it probably unless they completely overhaul it. But the problem with that is sorry, I've just do this. The problem with overhauling it is by rewriting the story and adding bits to it. It's gonna piss a lot of people off. So a lot of the dedicated fan base, if they change it, so it's how do they stay faithful to MGS1 without it being a 5-hour experience? You know, it's kind of
I think people would be fine. I think people would be fine. It doesn't have to be a remake on the scale of Final Fantasy VII remake. You know, they don't have to. They don't have to do a full deep dive college thesis. If you know, like I've always compared Final Fantasy VII, the original one, as a high school paper, and the remake would be a full-scale college thesis on the first 5 hours, which they made a full fucking game out of, which I thought was fantastic, you know? And they went deeper and they changed up they added a couple things and deep dived into a couple things to make it more, approachable for other people, but also stayed faithful to the core story so far. But you know, varying a certain thing by making you face off with Sephiroth, featuring Sephiroth multiple times and everything like that is you know, those are creative things, you know. But like with Metal Gear, people were totally fine rushing out to buy Ground Zeroes, and Ground Zeroes was literally 30 minutes.
True.
And people were fine with that. So like, if people could go out and spend money for Ground Zeroes, and Ground Zeroes is a 30-minute thing, which could be beaten in 5, depending on, you know, 5 minutes.
So many hours. I spent dozens of hours in that game.
Yeah, people spent dozens of hours exploring it and trying to get everything that they possibly could. They'll do that for a Metal Gear Solid remake.
It's true.
The first one, no problem.
You make a solid point, DZ, and I do agree with you there.
I
just want MGS3 because that's my favorite one. But MGS1 is also an incredible game, and I love it to bits. You know, so
Peace Walker.
Yeah,
Peace Walker's good. The only one I've played.
Peace Walker can actually get a remake with the way, you know, the way it is, with the way it plays, like Metal Gear Solid.
People actually love Peace Walker. most
Yeah, I
out of
love
a
big
lot of the
bosses.
franchise.
It just
So
bothered
like,
me how Big Boss's eyes were like stickers in that game. It really bothered me. He didn't
well,
have.
mean, it
that's
was
to be fair, it's a PS. That's a
I know
PSP.
it's a
yeah,
That's a
small
PSP.
PSP.
gripe of mine, but
It's a PSP game. Like Kojima
It's a
had to work
PSP
within the
game.
limit. It had to work within the limitations of that machine. So
facts.
Imagine if the
Yeah.
MGS remake just turns out to be another pachinko machine.
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, Will.
Metal Gear
Moving
Solid
on.
1 Twin Snakes pachinko. Now
Such
in
an
Japan.
ass, bro. Like, come on, don't do that,
Yeah,
dude.
you're
I
triggering me.
I discovered that pachinko firsthand, like in real life. You know, like I didn't know anything about it. I just saw it in my favorite arcade, and you know, it was traumatic. It was a traumatic experience.
So-
Oh, you mean like
See Metal Gear.
the MGS3 one where everyone thought
yeah,
like
I saw it.
MGS3 remake, but then
Yeah, I
it's
saw that in
pachinko.
person. I saw it in person, yeah. For the first time, I saw it in person. Yeah. It was
So
a traumatic
Have you used
experience.
it?
have a look at this thumbnail. I got this off a retweet from DZ. Speaking of remakes and by extension remasters, what the hell is going on with GTA?
Man.
Subject. I have been picking that bone ever since that whole thing is announced, and I
Gotta
have just
go.
mostly negative feelings towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, Rockstar has let me down for a while now because of their like over reliance on online components. Instead of making story expansions, they're just only like doing online events and stuff, which is a shame because especially games like Red Dead Redemption 2 have like so much potential. With side, additional content and expansions that it's just a shame seeing them just like doing Red Dead Nightmare online event thing. That's a huge letdown, and them bringing GTA 5 over literally every single new console release. And then when the thing was announced, GTA Definitive Trilogy, I remember like when it was just a rumor, and then when it was confirmed, I already had bad feelings towards it because it was already known that first of all, that they will cut a lot of the music from some of those
Yeah.
games, like especially like Vice City had like so many songs removed, like even so many songs that people connect to with Vice City. And the second thing that like waved a red flags for me was the fact that they removed the original trilogy from Steam so they can just sell those games again on their launcher. The fact that they didn't even got paid for that, as far as I know, is kind of baffling to me. Because if any other company would do that, they would get so much backlash. But Rockstar somehow didn't. They do now, rightfully, because the remaster is garbage. But I think the shit, the shitstorm should have happened, with Rockstar like putting those games, removing the original trilogy so just they could sell it again. And now the thing that agonizes me the most is the trilogy itself, because like everything about it is just awful. For one, the pricing. I think $60 or €60 are way too much. It's like way too much for kind of like for the product you're been given, because all they done was uh putting those giving those games like did they use the Unreal Engine for it, like they
I don't know what engine they used for
Engine,
this.
like
They didn't
whatever,
really
like
say.
like they just put over like new visuals over it and then call it a day, and now expect $60. Like those are over 20 years old now. Like, those three games are like over 20 years old now, and they expect like full price. like if we compare it like to other remasters, for example, the Saints Row 3 remaster that has like way more effort put into it with new models, improved effects, improved graphics and all that, and free DLC for just $40. Or another example, the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, the Insane Collection, which also remastered three games that are over 20 years old now, but then they went like the extra mile, put those graphics like into actual next gen standards at the time, and even released a level that was cut out of the original Crash Bandicoot, and even gave an additional, they even with an update like gave even an additional level for Crash 3. They only charge $40 for that, while with GTA it's just, the new graphics, that's it, give us $60, I think. Pricing is absolute bollocks. And now the remaster itself, because, like, that thing itself has so many problems. Like, for one, it's probably, like, a personal preference, but I think that the new visuals kind of suck. They look like if someone has spent way too much time making a game on Roblox. I don't know, I just don't dig the new visual style at all. Plus, some of the models look goofy as hell. Like, especially like in San Andreas, people have been using like some of those San Andreas screenshots, and that they even thought it was okay. It's like kind of baffling, because like some of those new models look bad. They look just bad. The remaster has like a ton of technical problems as well, performance problems as well, as far as I've heard, and effects. Some of those effects people have been praising are also kind of shit, like the rain. Like, have you seen like, for example, when it rains in those games, like the rain is thick as all hell. Like the rain's thicker than Cortana and Halo 4. It's unbelievable.
Thicker. Wow.
You can't see a damn thing when it rains. It's like a Snapchat filter has been put on the screen. It's like, it's going to make out anything. It's just seriously like
Bro, you know what it reminds me of? It's like I mentioned this in the Salty's Gaming podcast. Wile E. Coyote versus Roadrunner. Well, the originals were incredible, right? But then they tried to reinvent them with 3D animation, and it sucked so bad. The art direction just sucked. The look of the characters sucked. It just looked like, I don't know. It was like, when The Simpsons go to a 3D world and they look really bad.
You mean, I remember the episode. Wasn't like the episode where Bart was like stuck in some kind of portal.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that.
It's the equivalent of that, but for GTA. And I'm just right now browsing loads of different mods that people have done, the modding community with GTA San Andreas. And you know what's shocking is that just like Bethesda have with their latest Skyrim release, the Anniversary Edition, instead of celebrating and using and accrediting and hell, even, giving a share to the modding community and using what they have made and done better because they know what gamers want, because they are gamers themselves.
Right.
Instead of crediting them, they've tried to make their own cheap-ass equivalent and done a botched, terrible job, but trying to do what the mod community have already done. Why not just release a consolidated, working and functioning, modded version of the game's files into a PKG and release it for console with credits and even a portion of the profits going to the modding community? I mean, instead, they're too proud to do that, and like Bethesda have recently just released their own creations. They call them Bethesda Creations. They're basically poorer poorer versions of mods that others have already done.
Also the fact that that that's such quality, or lack thereof, is
mean, look at
attached with
this.
Rockstars, it's like kind of like that. Yeah, look at that.
Look at this that I'm showing right now, and this is so much better. This is like, god damn. I mean, this is a dude sat at home who made this, and Rockstar released not only a game that's a complete insult to GTA San Andreas fans, but it's not even a competent version. I mean, look at this, right? I'll show you some shit. I posted it in the DMs before, just for reference. But this is crazy, right?
Like, also that the fact that such an half-assed job is was done, by Rockstar. Like, it's said that that's some kind of mobile studio, studio that did mobile games.
Honestly,
with the remaster, still that kind of thing is still attached with Rockstar, and that Rockstar,
for me,
those guys that are known for
for me,
just putting out
it
some of the most
tarnishes
polished games out there.
It tarnishes their reputation as people, as a studio, as a world-class studio that focuses on attention to detail. Every release of their games that they've ever made for every platform that they've designed specifically for their platform has tapped into and pushed that generation of technology to its limits.
Also being extremely polished.
And have been extremely polished. So to see them come out and take their own work from those generations and do such a trash job at it when they've done did you all remember how fucking amazing GTA 5 looked when they moved it from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. It looked the part. That was a proper overhaul of the Rage engine, and set the basis for the things that we would get in Red Dead Redemption 2. Which came out some 6 to 7 years after the fact. But still, to see them do that and then decide to do a cash grab like this and say the definitive edition and put out a game like this, a compilation like this, which is some of their best. This is some of their best things. These are the games that literally made Rockstar the tour de force that they are. The GTA franchise is amongst the most powerful brand names that we have in gaming, and it's an integral part of history. So to see it like this is it's a bit shocking to me. I was saying on Twitter, I was this is giving this is almost giving CDPR, the way how it's it really feels like the character models are just discombobulated and weird.
Look at this, right? So this is a screenshot that I'm sharing. You'll see it in about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's on the delay of San Andreas in the remake, right? Not in the remake, in the definitive edition. There's no volumetrics, no clouds. San Andreas looks whack. It looks super small. That sense of scale and scope is all but gone. It's just an absolute mess, my dudes. And because there's no volumetrics, they didn't even bother adding the volumetrics. And look at that compared to the original. This is the original. I mean, it's beyond embarrassing. I mean, you couldn't see the whole map because clouds kind of enveloped the mountain, but that gave it a sense of scale, right? It kind of hid the limitations of the console really well. And made everything look just superb for its time. Go on, Will. You were going to say something.
Yeah, it also feels like a personal punch in the gut because those GTA games, specifically Vice City and San Andreas, are like childhood memories. 'Cause, like I remember, walking to my cousin's house, and then we played Vice City and San Andreas on his OG Xbox, and we've just had one hell of a time. And just seeing, like that figurement of all that is just painful.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I got a bone to pick with this because Rockstar Games used to be one of in my top 10 developers basically because back in the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 era, they made so many good games in my opinion. You can start with GTA 3 if you want, then you got The Warriors, then you got Manhunt, and then after that, of course, GTA San Andreas is one of the most memorable games I've played. It's a special place in my heart, that game. And then you got LA Noire, which was so mind blowing when the time it was released back then.
For space animations,
And
They remastered it too.
Yeah,
They remastered it and they brought it to PlayStation. And they brought it to PlayStation VR, and they brought it to PlayStation VR as well. So like I said, yeah, to see them do shit like this is nothing short of lazy underhand cash grab for money, because they know people are gonna want to play this, and like it's upsetting. It really is, especially for me.
It's very upsetting because I was excited for this. I wanted to play San Andreas again, and I always trusted, let's say, Rockstar. Red Dead Redemption 2. Jeez, Red Dead Redemption 2, man. Like I don't know how you come from that
and go straight to this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What an embarrassment.
Even
like
GTA, the GTA 5 remastered, I really have a hard time seeing a difference.
Nah, it's like this is a different Rockstar. There's something, I don't know who they got going on or what they're chasing, because this Rockstar is different than the Rockstar that we remember them to be, and it's kind of worrying.
Also, I doubt that while with CDPR, they fucked up with Cyberpunk. Like they tried to fix Cyberpunk, while with Rockstar, I actually doubt that they are going to do shit with that collection. I just think that they let that thing just rot. People will buy it anyway.
They're powerful enough. Rockstar is powerful enough to know that their fans, their loyal fans, are going to continue to play the other games.
Although there's some hope, because I've just read that refund requests has been growing recently for GTA Trilogy. So fingers crossed that it grows at an exponential rate, because I need them to learn a lesson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I need them to learn this lesson that even as much as you are God and shit, you don't slack off like that.
You can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's
it's easy to kind of defend game developers and go, who are you to criticize a game dev? But at the end of the day, we are consumers, and we spend our money. I mean, if you own an Xbox and you haven't bought this game and you subscribe to Game Pass, it's a bummer, but it's easily forgivable because you haven't paid for it, really, so to speak. You've just kind of it's minimal, right? It's minimal, but but to sell this game to consumers, they've just taken it off Steam. They've removed it from Steam because they want to put everything consolidated through their launcher, Rockstar Games launcher, and unlike GTA 5, for whatever reason, Steam is conflicting against that. It's not because of the quality issue. It's God forbid they remove it off Steam because of the poor reviews and the quality, and they wanted to do a better job. But this game doesn't deserve to be on the PlayStation Store. It doesn't deserve to even be on Game Pass, which I know is full of fodder in a lot of ways, but it's also full of decent quality games too. Forza Horizon 5 being one of them, which is an amazing game. I've got it. I've got the premium edition. I bought it, but I still haven't been able to play it because it won't launch for me on PC. It crashes 8 seconds in, and I've done everything I can to get it to work, but hey ho, it is what it is. But regardless, for those who have played it, have been praising the shit out of it, Forza Horizon 5, about how good it is. You know, so Game Pass has its benefits, but this game, it doesn't even deserve to be on a subscription service. It's that poor of a... I can't believe
it
how they
is.
could have taken so many steps backwards with this.
Yeah.
But look at this modded version. The modders have done this. They clearly know what gamers want, and they're doing a phenomenal job. And why doesn't Bethesda and Rockstar, for once in their life, accredit especially
They
Bethesda,
don't even need to. They don't even need to do anything like that. Literally, all they need to do is hire the fucking mod team. Hire the mod team. Bring these fucking
Just like
people
Valve
to
did.
hire the thing, and then like if you hire these people, pay them to do the fucking work, and then have your coders and everything update not just the resolution, but update the controls and say this is the definitive version or a remaster, or call it a remake, call it whatever you want, and release these things a la carte as full $60, $70 games on current gen and next gen machines, and we would not be feeling this kind of outrage. Like, you know, like the people who were bashing Metroid Dread for being $60, I guarantee you Metroid Dread looks and plays better than GTA, than all three of these GTA games right now.
Shout out to all them gamers, right, who were shitting on Metroid Dread. Porter Rock being one of them. He blocks me today over a different issue, but you know, shitting on the price of Metroid Dread because it's a 2.5D. It's not even 3D, and yet you know, they maybe they bought this. I don't know about Porter Rock whether he's bought this game, but you know, there are those who have been shitting on Metroid Dread and then go out and buy this. And
buy this.
Yeah.
And now you guys are complaining about the quality of it. Like, nah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, no, this Rockstar is a household name. The industry stops and looks and takes in and reevaluates themselves anytime Rockstar makes a move. So, like, to see them do something like this, they need to learn a lesson from this, dude. And it's
like this. I want to know, does any of you know how I can like get to those original GTAs? Because I unfortunately
Pirate
missed the
Bay, my
opportunity
dude.
to grab
emulator is your chance now because they removed the Steam ones.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I missed the chance of grabbing those games.
It's so
which I
immoral,
highly
dude.
regret.
It's so wrong.
It is.
Your chance is an emulator. Well, as of right now, that's all I can think of. The emulators.
But
But I hate
Sadly.
the auto aim. I hate the auto aim.
Or you can download. Well, I'm pretty sure somewhere out there, you know, for free or crack, you can still download these games, the PC versions or the 10th anniversary versions. I think you can still download them.
So
The cracked ones.
you know what's,
Yeah, I'm sure you can still download them.
so all this time I've been showing you a channel called Inter, and he's, shout out to him, give him a subscription, subscribe to him. He remastered GTA San Andreas, and he did it so much freaking justice. It's ridiculous. Like, I would have bought this day one for a full 50. If it was available on console.
Same, bro.
And Rockstar missed out on an opportunity, and I believe CD Projekt Red are hiring modders, the modding community, and are working with them.
Yeah, they are.
And you know what?
Oh, they do?
Very wise decision. Very, very
It
wise
is.
decision. And
They are working with modders. Yeah, they're hiring modders. That's true.
I think it's a shame, but it is what it is, that Rockstar have gotten to the point, and so have Bethesda with their recent release, the Anniversary Edition, have gotten to the point where, you know, they need to do the same. They need to follow suit, because right now this is just becoming a joke. We pay money for these products, and this is just unacceptable.
It is.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
The fact is,
go on, Wilhelm.
the fact that they don't even like see like the kind of opportunity they have with those modding communities, like Counter-Strike, for example, was like a mod to Half-Life, and what Valve did was like not suing those people, they hired them, and now
Yeah, they did.
Counter-Strike is like still one of the like, biggest shooters like ever. It's still like
it's
when you
also
go
a
to
thing
Twitch,
that
like
Valve.
those
It's also a
games.
thing that Valve is like making freaking money off of too.
Yeah,
So like the idea
definitely.
that they don't even see the lucrative properties because like I said, the industry stops and take notes of whatever Rockstar does.
Yeah.
And they used to be Olympus, you know. They used to be like this, right? Rockstar was like
Sorry,
the
no,
Naughty
it's-
Dog for open world games. That's what Rockstar
Exactly.
is to people. So
Yeah.
Or was.
they used to be Olympus. Yeah. It used to be Olympus. I don't know, there's got to be some kind of way next time that they can redeem themselves, because I don't want to lose hope on Rockstar. I really don't want to. I want to believe that they can make something better than Red Dead Redemption
It's
2.
like, yeah. Well, like I said,
Hello. All right, fair. DZ.
very fucking scummy.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So yeah, I'd say it's safe to say, Rockstar, you fucked up, and hire the modding community. I think that's the lesson I've learned from this one.
Hire the modding community.
Shout out to the modding community. You know, these
Can you
guys
guys-
are self-taught developers. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, DZ. Can you hear me?
All right, cool. Yeah. I thought I disconnected or
Yeah,
something.
I think you did go quiet for a minute, but we heard you say they're scummy, real scummy of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, moral of the story is credit where credit's due. The modding community are awesome, and they deserve some more recognition. They are extremely understated. They are the unsung heroes of the gaming industry, especially when it comes to the PC space. And you know, there are so many self-taught devs who have so much talent, and it's all because they learned how to mod. And
Yeah.
you know, the potential is crazy. But yeah, let's move on to the second main topic before DZ has to go. PlayStation versus Xbox and Switch. We'll include Switch in this as well because they recently released the OLED. It's more, rather than it just being a console war, although that is part and parcel of it, it's more kind of just highlighting where are these consoles at a year down the road. And we're not just including 2021 here. It's a 12-month period, so it's from November to November that we're talking about. And who do we think has not only done the better job, but why? But also what positive can you highlight about the competition that maybe isn't as strong, but still delivering in a specific area. So we're trying to
there's a whole lot of I specifically when I pitched this this discussion point, I was specifically looking at just the sheer scope of titles that each first party was able to bring. But then when I started to sit and think about it, I was also wanting to see and contrast every aspect of how each publisher has made moves on three key areas. So like software development from a first party perspective, online infrastructure from a first party perspective, and their specific specific services that they've been pushing.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
then also how they have utilized their hardware, and see how we could grade them objectively and fairly, versus it just becoming this.
Yeah.
PlayStation had more first party titles, but then so they get an A automatically. So
Facts.
I kind of wanted to make sure that we got away from that. Yeah.
I've got my paper ready. So what were those three that you mentioned, DZ? So online infrastructure, software,
and
infrastructure,
and how they use the hardware, and so they're so software development. So basically, titles that they've released as the first party, and then their online services and infrastructure. So how well has each of them pushed their services? What have they incorporated in their services this year to make it more attractive? And who gets the A there, the best grades there? And then of course how they've utilized their first party software to leverage the technologies that's been introduced into their new hardware.
That's awesome. So, well, let's do that, DZ. I love the breakdown, my dude. That's perfect. That's kind of what I was trying to get at with the whole put a positive spin on it, but I couldn't quite articulate it as well as that. So, absolute spot on. That's the developer in you, my dude. So let's do that. So, from a software perspective, does that include services, or is that more online infrastructure?
That's the more online infrastructure. So
okay. Let's do it. So let's start with software, my dudes. First of all, chat. What's your thoughts in terms of the software? Who do you think has won this race and why? But DZ, as soon as though you've articulated it so well, my dude, would love you to kind of start off with your opinion on this.
So from a first-party software development, I'd say I can't specifically give none of them an A, and there are a few reasons. Software, we've all had software, some great standout games that from PlayStation and from Nintendo, and that have come forefront, but in terms of killer fucking apps that really, really, really made somebody want to have these machines, those aren't until next year. Microsoft isn't really getting any kind of really, really killer. We have a Forza this year and a Halo, which is okay, if you're not a fan of either of those, what does that do for you, right? So the head turners like God of War, Horizon, Breath of the Wild, Starfield, those are all next year kind of things. So for me specifically, I'd give PlayStation a B+, I'd give Nintendo a B, and I'd give Microsoft a low C. And I say that because this year they actually managed to chart one game that's in the 90s. I don't really count what is it? What's the game? Forza? I don't count Flight Simulator. I don't count Flight Simulator as anything spectacular within that. Plus it was a game that released in 2020 for PC.
Yep.
So I can't really give that as a Microsoft win for this year. Just like while I did enjoy Death Stranding and Ghost of Tsushima, those are re-releases, so brand new experiences like Ratchet and Clank and Metroid and Returnal. Those are things that I would specifically count as, worthwhile stuff for this year. But while I fucking live by and die by the sword that Returnal is my Gotti, is my game with, it still is not something that you could equitably market as a marquee title and a reason to own a PlayStation 5. Mm-hmm. And a Metroid Dread, while I fucking love that game, isn't the marquee release and the reason to own a Switch OLED, even though it does a good job of showing off, the technology and whatnot.
Let's include Shin Megami Tensei 5, which is a Nintendo Switch exclusive as well.
True, but
Add that
yeah,
to
from
it.
a first party. So from a first party's perspective, like I said, in software releases, um, Sony gets a B plus. They've had a killer year. They've launched a number of titles. Nintendo has also launched a number of titles, some surprise ones too, like Metroid, that we never really thought that we were going to get because it's
And
been
No
a
More Heroes
relatively,
3.
huh?
And No More Heroes 3.
Yeah,
The third No More Heroes.
yeah. They've had some really really good titles, and then of course Microsoft's back end philosophy of launching games in the back end of the year, which is puzzling to me. They've got two strong ones, with a refocus on Halo and a very stellar release of Forza Horizon. So like, I couldn't give any of these publishers anything above a B.
I
in that sense.
love your score, my dude. Especially, I love the fact that you didn't give PlayStation an A, and why I love that is because I wouldn't give them an A, to be fair, because I don't think that we've even scratched the surface of what they're going to be delivering, and there was quite a long break in between the launch releases that they gave us and kind of throughout the rest of 2021, because November 2020 was fire. But then there was a bit of quiet time throughout 2021. 2021 for me has been a little bit lackluster. I mean, when you combine the whole 12 months in total, it's been a fire 12 months.
Yeah, it has been a fire 12 months.
But that's mostly thanks to the start of the 12-month period.
Exactly.
Not the majority
Like
of the 12-month period.
you got brand new releases and whatnot, and their output was fantastic. You know, what was it? They had four major first party releases, and then within months of that, they had a few re-releases and a brand new game, and then they had Eternal, which I fucking love to death, and then they had Ratchet and Clank, and then they had surprise releases with Death Stranding and Ghost of Tsushima re-releases, and of course they peppered out the things with smaller announcements like free 60 frames per second patches for The Last of Us and Days Gone and God of War and but like in terms of really big killer marquee releases that we were all looking forward to, we were hoping that 2021 would be the release for Horizon. That never came. That got pushed back, and so did what was it? Gran Turismo 7. So like, these releases are those kind of things where you take it into consideration. You have to, as a big a fan as I am of PlayStation, I just could not objectively give them an A because it has not been an A in terms of marquee stellar releases. Same for Nintendo, who has a strong first party, but their release just has not been that strong. They've had some good releases, and for a year, for this 12 months, they've had some, you could compare it, but like, yeah, just couldn't. So like, they both get these. Microsoft will get a C in this sense. So,
if they can keep
what says you guys?
If they can keep up the quality of what they delivered with Forza Horizon 5, then Microsoft are on to a winner. But they are very late to the party, you know.
Yeah.
There are a few points deducted for that.
In terms of, so like, let's pass it around to everybody else.
Yeah.
What would your scores be? And I'd like to hear your thoughts, and then we'd go down to the next couple of things.
100%. Akira, Wilhelm?
Yeah, so Nintendo and PlayStation, they really, the first year, they really ramped up with games. Even announcements for the next year, so that, you'll know what to look forward to. Xbox is catching up with the holidays with 3 games, which is Forza, Halo, and Gunk, I believe is what it's called. If people want, we can also add Psychonauts 2 and what's that other game? Yeah, Ascent. Yeah, that was also an Xbox game, right? So, there are there are games from every platform. Of course, it'll be a matter of preference which one, which people would prefer which. And however, if we're going to talk about where more games can be played, it'll be PlayStation, Nintendo, undoubtedly. They just released more games. Again, you can start with Metroid Dread, No More Heroes 3, like Shin Megami Tensei 5 about to come, like Chris Rogers has been going crazy about. And again, PlayStation got Returnal, Miles Morales have been them going crazy for. Demon Souls, Kena. Please don't forget Kena. It's an amazing game.
Yeah, definitely.
And as much as people give it some flack, Deathloop is still there. Deathloop was there for a lot of people loved it. I mean, a lot of people didn't, but a lot of people also loved it. So that was still a win whenever gamers get to enjoy their games. And so yeah. However, yes, it is not an A because first of all, Insomniac is carrying the first year alone. It's just the truth. They single-handedly released 3 games in the first year: Spider-Man Remastered, Miles Morales, and Ratchet and Clank. So for first party, Insomniac is my favorite PS studio. But if we're gonna talk about the grading for the first year of what first party Sony did, yeah, it's not an A because again they're alone. They were alone carrying that generation. And then Housemarque got added, of course, and Blue Point is now also Sony first party, but it doesn't count after acquisition, right? It doesn't count. So they were more like bonus games that PlayStation got to make a deal with, but they were not really first party yet. That's like my view on it. So yeah, it's not an A for PlayStation. Technically, there's no A for them on the first year, and I think it's quite normal because if you compare it to other generations. I mean, the last bombarded games for PlayStation was PlayStation 2. First year bombarded games PlayStation 2, and then PS3, PS4 were also even PS5 were better compared to PS3 and PS4. So this is gonna be a B for me, PS5, because like I said, it may not be that great, but it's still better than before. That's like the point. It was better than before. Nintendo is difficult to give a grading for because they can edge to an A because the games that they've been releasing are really good games as well, and they are Nintendo only. Sorry, what was that? Yeah.
You guys are kind of botting a little bit. Could you repeat that?
Sorry, what I was trying to say is Nintendo has a good first year, in my opinion. I would give it like if we can have like a minus B plus B, I would give Nintendo a plus B and PlayStation a minus B.
Yeah.
With Xbox, it's hard to tell because the Xbox has Game Pass, of course.
Is this this in terms of software, bro? Are we still talking software?
No, yeah, we're still talking software. Oh wait, Game Pass is not part of software.
No.
Game Pass is
it's
more
not.
of that's the second topic.
Okay.
If face that anger.
All right, with Xbox, you know what? I mean, they've been catching up as well with the games, and it's not fully desert, just like compared to their last generation. So yeah, it's also a minus B. So yeah, it's surprising for me, but yes, Nintendo providing the games, yes, they did better in the first year. It's just the truth.
Awesome.
it's just the truth for me. But yeah, those are my thoughts
so
on.
we've got Akira with what was it that you scored? PS B minus, was it?
Yeah, B minus, PS, Xbox B minus, and Nintendo B plus.
B minus, and Nintendo B plus. Awesome. Right. So Wilhelm, what about you, my dude?
I think I'm completely with them. With PlayStation 5 has some great games, but it's nothing like you've said. We haven't nearly like scratched the surface yet, and I think it's a normal thing that that early like in a console's lifespan. Of course, you can't like knock all cylinders. You can't like pack out all your weapons. It has to progress with time. So I think that a B plus would be a healthy score with PlayStation, and with the Switch now I'm a bit confused. Are we like talking about Switch like on launch 2017, or are we talking about 2021?
No, we're talking about the since from November to November.
Yeah, then I'll have to go with a B plus because we have some great games on the system, especially No More Heroes 3 because I really love that game, and I'm so happy that we get another pure pseudo experience.
Mm-hmm.
But those so far hasn't been like those how you put it like
Bangers.
those have been bangers, but like not absolute system sellers in like in a traditional sense, if you like catch my drift.
Yeah. No. So you scored Nintendo a B plus. You scored PlayStation a
B plus as well.
B plus as well.
And Xbox. I think I'm a bit harsh on that one because honestly, the titles mentioned haven't really interested me. I mean, Halo Infinite looks kind of cool, but I kind of don't care about Forza and anything. I forgot what other games have come out. Like I think like an asymmetrical shooter has like come out as well, but I'm not too sure. Like Xbox games so far haven't really tickled me so far. So with a lot of goodwill, I have to give Xbox a D minus.
Awesome. Okay. So, safe to say that we have a draw between Nintendo Switch and PlayStation. When it comes to software. Two B pluses. Oh, actually, no. You know what? PlayStation has received two B pluses, one B minus, and Nintendo has earned two B pluses and one B. So Nintendo win. The Switch wins this one on software.
Yep, that's safe. I'd probably go with that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, shout out to Nintendo, man. They are understated to a degree. But it's incredible that they produce they deliver such a quality amount of games whilst remaining kind of separate from the main competition. It's amazing.
Like for that many things you can criticize Nintendo for, you have to admit that these guys are very, very careful when it comes to their IPs.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it comes to their IPs, like they treat it like it's their own child.
Mm-hmm. Raktak Backs, appreciate your comment, dude. This has been PlayStation's weakest year ever. The games are all reskins and walking sims. My dude, we were talking about the last 12 months, which includes the launch of November. And I think if you include all the games that released at launch, not to mention the fact that you've got, Kana, Bridge of Spirits, Deathloop, Ratchet and Clank. I won't call those games reskins. Although Deathloop is definitely a poor man's
None of them are walking sims, and I can't. I've. It's not that I take offense to stuff like that, but when people just say reskins of walking sims,
it's a silly narrative.
Literally, there are only two PlayStation IPs that they redid. Well, three. Two PlayStation IPs that that you could consider walking sims, or which are open world action adventure games, which they remastered in 2021. We got one of them that they remastered in 2020, which was Spider-Man. And to call Spider-Man a walking sim, are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, bro.
Is this I want to
kidding me,
double.
dude?
I want to pick it back on this
Like-
because he's sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, dude.
Like I get what you're saying, that this year hasn't had some really, really stand out, oh my god, gobsmacking things, but like Returnal, that game is far from a walking sim.
It's anything.
Ratchet
but-
and Clank is far from a
Dude.
walking sim.
Campos just said Guilty Gear. Yeah, exactly. Guilty Gear Stripe, bro. Walking
Are
sim.
you-
No,
Like the breadth of diverse titles that we've gotten on PlayStation in from November last 2020 to this year, November 2020, has been ridiculous.
And Ratfack, this isn't
this
an attempt of me deflecting, but just look at the competition, dude. What do you call Forza Horizon 5? Is it anything other than a reskin by your definition? Because literally, it's just a different world, right? That's pretty much it. What about
Wooly.
Gears 5? Gears 5,
Wooly.
it's Gears 2, but without the physics. So, you know...
Willie, well, one sec. You know what? I'm gonna finish this because you know this man or this woman or whoever uses accounts clear. It's a troll because he said it's the weakest PlayStation year. Here's the thing, man. If you say that with a straight face, then you have no fucking idea about the PlayStation history. Because like I said before, PlayStation 3 launch and PS4 launch were weaker compared to the PlayStation 5. The reason for that is in PlayStation 3 launch, there was no games at all. Like there was almost nothing to play on the console on the first year.
You
That
had
was like the
Resistance.
worst. That was the
You
worst launch. Yeah, it was
Literally,
two-
within the first year they got games,
Yeah,
but
first
like
year.
at launch, you had Resistance, and that was it. And
that was
then
it.
4 or 5 months later, you had Motorstorm, and then
Yeah,
you had Starhawk. No, you had Warhawk, and then after
Warhawk.
that, you literally had Lair and Uncharted, and we all know how Lair went, and then you had Uncharted. So like,
exactly. So
Yeah.
the margin is still like I said, PlayStation 5 still had more games to offer on its first year. PlayStation 4, if we both remember, right? We had Killzone, Infamous Second Son, right?
Knack.
Was
Knack.
yeah, Knack. Was Haze PlayStation 4?
Yeah,
no,
no,
it was
Haze
like
is
PS3,
PlayStation 3.
like, but
Haze
that
is
was
PS3,
like,
right?
yeah, but Haze came out like in 2009.
we
I
had The
think.
Order.
Yeah.
That came out a year
No, yeah,
after
yeah.
release. So
Mhm.
No, that was a year after. That was the year after. So like I said, what I'm trying to say is that PlayStation 3, PS4, both had weaker starts compared to the PlayStation 5. It's like the point I was trying to make. So if we're gonna base it on how many games you can play, the PS5 trumps it by so much, like both generations. That's why I cannot take anybody seriously who says that this is the weakest PlayStation year, because it's just not.
When they say walk-in sim, it's literally just a thing to troll. And
You know,
like,
shout out
personally,
to
like,
Go on, sorry, DZ, carry on.
when they say walking sims, it just doesn't make any sense to me, because like, that's such a tired thing to say. Like, walking sims, they want walking sims. If they had a game that was straight, they'd be eating shit. Like, come on.
This dude is comparing generations to 1 year. Let's talk again in 5 years. All right, let's talk again in 5 years. Then maybe we'll have
Let's
a better
talk again.
conversation about this.
We could talk again next year too, when we create 2022 from 2021.
Exactly, because
Like, yeah. But let's continue.
Yeah, let's
the next-
continue.
yeah. Yeah, facts. All I'll say is shout out to OT. You know, he made a phenomenal point the other week. He's a panel member on this podcast. He said that, you know, a lot of the troll community and even a lot of the Xbox fanboy community, they don't, or they refuse to acknowledge quality games until they eventually land on their platform, and then they acknowledge them and praise the shit out of them, and spend money on them, and buy them, and do all the things that they mock and laugh at, the PlayStation community doing. Imagine buying games. Well, I'm pretty sure Forza Horizon sold how many on day -3 before launch? 1 million? Almost. So, go figure.
Dude, I would love this people, praise a game like fucking Hellblade. Like Hellblade. For real.
Yeah, for real.
I swear to God.
I mean, when they're excited for Hellblade 2 and yet laugh at, they call Death Stranding and God of War and Horizon Forbidden West walking simulators. It's crazy. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Sorry, who's is that background TV? Oh, it's you. No worries, DZ, bro. It's all good. It's only quiet. So let's focus on Korea, my dudes. Korea is blowing up, right? DZ, bro, that your mic's picking up the background.
Yeah. I just got on my train because I'm heading into work.
My apologies.
So
my apologies, dude. No worries.
I'm actually gonna walk out here. You guys could finish up the rest of the topics.
All right, brother.
But,
hey, DZ, thank you so much, my dude. It's always an honor to have you on whenever you can. Hope you don't think I was criticizing then about the background. I wasn't aware you were on the train. I just thought it was your TV or something.
No, you're fine.
My
no, you're fine.
But yeah, stay awesome, my bro. Thank you so much for all the awesome input you've given. And for what it's worth, we've probably only got half an hour left tops of the podcast, so you won't be missing much.
Well, be sure to pick the winner.
Yeah,
let me know.
I'll be sure to highlight that to everybody, and then we'll let you know. We'll discuss it as a panel and give you a shout when we select the winner. We might do it by random, to be honest. We might throw names in a pot or something. I don't know. We'll decide. But
the eligibility is that they listen to the podcast this week, and that they have a Switch. So.
Yeah. We'll ask for the receipts, my dude. We'll send us a picture of your Nintendo Switch. DM it us, whatever.
Or ask them for their friends code.
Oh, that's true. Great point.
Yeah.
Great point. And you can gift the game via friends code, right?
It'll be a physical copy, actually.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Physical.
Let's get physical. All right. Stay awesome, DZ, my bro.
All right, Panel. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for listening.
Bye, DZ. Take care.
Alrighty. Peace.
Yeah, peace, DZ.
Yeah.
Take care, bro.
Thanks, man.
We love that guy. For those who aren't following DZ on Twitter, be sure to give him a follow. You can follow him XP Sev Davis, so EXP Sev SEV Davis DAVIS. Give him a follow on Twitter. He's freaking awesome. He knows his shit as well. He's a game developer, and he's just a really awesome, wholesome guy to have around. So.
By the way, I wanna respond to someone a while ago. I don't know who that was, but yeah, I would love to experience like that in the game in the future. He talked about he wants to experience the same thing that you remember the Unreal Engine 5 demo, the flying part.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Somebody here on the chat said something like they would like to experience that in a game in the future, and I'm like, yo. I would love that. I'm all in for it.
Yeah, I think Forspoken is showing glimmers of that, but even that isn't quite what we're going to be getting. Yeah,
it's not yet.
Like,
dude, imagine
or maybe
Infamous game like that.
Yeah,
maybe the powers of Faye's not fully developed yet, because that's also possible, right? That you can upgrade her powers and maybe can get more to travel, just like similar to the Unreal Engine 5 demo. So yeah, Forspoken is getting to that territory, and I'm fucking excited for Forspoken.
And Spider-Man 2 is also increasing the web swinging by 185% faster. So it's almost double the
PS5
speed,
only.
almost double the swinging speed. And they could go faster, but it just wouldn't be realistic. So they're literally
the Venom.
yeah.
Venom. No, I mean the Venom from Mouse. You can, they can boost the speed more with the
100%.
with the Venom powers during swing. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they can come up with. I trust Insomnia.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's gonna be glorious.
There are Venom powers in Miles Morales?
Yeah, but not the symbiote Venom. It's the electric.
The symbiote.
His electric powers are called Venom.
Yeah, he calls his bioelectricity powers Venom because it stings. That's what Genki said. Because they sting.
I want to see Venom symbiote gameplay in Spider-Man 2. Like in Web of Shadows or
gameplay.
You have like Venom powers in that game, or play as Venom. Ultimate Spider-Man game, or like Web of Shadows.
Symbiote Spidey. Maybe.
Right, my dudes. Let's continue to the next topic.
Yeah.
So we've got now Korea and all things that are going on in Korea. So let's just provide a little bit of background, right? We've seen games like DokeV, Crimson Desert. These are all Korean developers, right? And Crimson Desert looks South Korean developers. The Crimson Desert looks absolutely like one of the most unbelievable things we've ever seen in terms of how it looks and the way the open world is, riding dragons and exploring wherever you go. It's kind of Forspoken meets Shadow of Mordor meets Black Desert Online, and throw in a bit of Reign of Fire in the mix, and Dragon's Dogma too. But then you've got DokeV, which is completely like pushing the boundaries of what's of what's kind of something new and fresh in gaming. It's like Pokemon meets Lego World meets I don't know what else, like Ben 10 and Green Lantern kind of crazy thing with a little bit of PlayStation Home thrown in there. It's crazy, bro. But then we see games that are coming out like this, Lies of P, and it looks like a love letter to Bloodborne fans. To be completely honest, it's kind of, if Tim Burton made Bloodborne, you've kind of got the gist of this game. So what? As well as Lies of P, there's another game coming out very soon for PS5 and for exclusively on console to PlayStation. Although it's coming to Switch as well, but it's not coming to Xbox. It is going to be on Microsoft Store, and that's called Ultra Age, which is coming out in December. Which is also a really stunningly gorgeous hack and slasher in the vein of Nier Automata. It's got a lot of inspiration from the Nier franchise, so that's one to check out. But we came across this gameplay of Lies of P, and I mean, just look at it. It's crazy. What do you guys think about what's going on right now with South Korean devs? It seems like they're on a roll, right?
Go ahead, Film.
Me and Akira predicted that sort of thing. At my when I debuted on that podcast, we had a similar topic before with the Chinese developers and with their games like Wukong and stuff like that. Like Akira and I said way back that it's going to be like Old Boy and stuff like that. When Old Boy came out, and then South Korean cinema really started to gain traction. We predicted like a similar thing to that, with those Chinese developers coming forward and then making games like that, that it does open a door for other people as well. We're getting like a new wave of people, a new wave of artists, a new wave of developers, a new wave of games coming at us, and it's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty exciting, and I'm more than just looking forward to that, and I'm basically so happy that mine and Akira's prediction is true.
What's your prediction?
So yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Already said that
Oh,
with
sorry, bro.
Chinese, back then when those Chinese developers made those
Oh
games,
yeah,
that
of course, yeah,
it
yeah,
would like open up like a door, like for other people, that it opens like a new wave,
yeah, no, 100%. Sorry, bro. I got lost in translation a little bit then. Yeah, 100%, bro. I mean, we spoke about this about how many months ago? 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago. You and Akira,
check real quick.
particularly you, Will, and you, Akira, both of you guys were giving us a lot of insight into what's going on in the eastern lands of South Korea and China, and how things are about to take off in a huge way that we're not ready for in terms of these devs and what they're going to be bringing out, and kind of pushing the gaming medium forward with whole new kind of genres, Chinese RPGs, and these extremely polished South Korean games that we're seeing as well. Like South Korean RPG, like Crimson Desert, just blows my mind.
So yeah, I wanted to. By the way, I wanted to say, because I just rewatched Shang-Chi. I'm sure you guys know who Shang-Chi is, right? From Marvel.
Yeah,
I would love a Shang-Chi video game, by the way. I would love.
Oh, that would be sick.
I would love a Shang-Chi video game. Just saying to you guys, but yeah, South Korea. So after China, they started making the rounds, and because of China Hero Project with PlayStation, I mentioned something that I think more developers are gonna follow suit from the East, which is South Korea was the first one that I said. And yeah, so as of right now, we've seen a lot of games coming from South Korea that is also going to be arriving to the West. The reason why I'm sure that they're going to be in the West is because they already have English dubs. That's why I'm sure that they're going to go to the West, because why would they put dubs in it if they're not going to release it worldwide?
Mm-hmm.
Previous South Korean games don't have dubs. Like that's a first for me to witness that. Well, apart from Black Desert, of course. But yeah, it's like a first for me to see Korean games get dubs, and it seems like this is a generation where they will actually get serious to get into the global space of gaming, a console or PC, but more on the AAA side. So South Korea history is that South Korea has been making games for a long time now, actually.
Primarily right?
Mobile and PC. A lot of the South Korean games that I played, for living in Asia, it's kind of like one of the incentives.
Look at this, what we're seeing. Look, this is ridiculous.
It's Crimson Desert, right?
Yeah.
By the way, before that, I cannot believe that this is the same developers making DoKV. Like, it's so different. It's so damn different. Like, you would never guess it would be the same developer, right? From looking at this. But yeah, what I was trying to say is that South Korea, they've been making games for a long time now, PC and mobile, and a lot of the old school games that I played back in the day are all South Korean PC games. Some of them are Audition, O2 Jam, Osu, EVE Online. These are online MMORPGs that are just so damn fun and full of really fun gameplay. That's why they were they were blowing up in Asia. And the thing about South Korea is this: I have been looking into their country for a while now, because my wife and I watch South Korean movies every day. Every single day we watch one South Korean movie, and the reason for that is because they put so much effort into their movies. Almost all of the concepts in their movies are unique, original ideas that I have not seen from Hollywood. And that's why I'm so enticed by their movies, because they're just damn unique.
I swear, dude. I swear, you East Asian dudes are like a superior species of human. Whether it's game development, or whether it's even like your culture, like the humility and the values that you guys have in terms of family and and respect and stuff like that. But then you've got like the movie direction and art direction, like and how studious you guys. Honestly, bro, like I swear down, it's very impressive. I have a lot of respect for the Japanese and South Korean and Chinese kind of cultures.
You see what Unknown is saying? Unknown in the chat is saying it's a good game that he's mentioning. That is an MMORPG called Plan 8. That Perlibis is developing 3 games right now, which is Plan 8, DokeV, and Crimson Desert.
We're gonna
Plan 8. If you're gonna show a trailer of Plan 8, it's also completely different from the other 2 games that were mentioned.
I remember this. Bro.
By the way, Salty, did you watch Train to Busan? I mentioned Train to Busan, right? I just wanted to know if you actually watched it.
I still need to watch it.
You need to watch it, man. I told Salty that Train to Busan is the best zombie movie I've ever watched, and that's a high bar.
Hollywood wants to remake it,
So yeah, about South Korea. So I look into the history of these people, and I noticed that when it comes to entertainment, a lot of South Koreans go all in. They go all out when it comes to entertainment. For example, some of the K dramas, Korean series, some of their series from South Korea, one episode is like the budget of one Hollywood movie.
Ooh.
And the reason for that is because they just really go all in ideas that they strongly believe in. The gaming landscape in South Korea is gigantic. It's such an active gaming community. And not only that, South Korea actually appreciate gamers. The way I say that is this: if you got somebody from esports, for example, esports, Evo, whatever, streamer, a popular content creator for gaming, they are treated like celebrities in South Korea. Because in South Korea, entertainment is kind of like such a big thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
So my hope, and I think I'm also starting to see it, is that what South Korean puts their energy on their movies, on their series, and on their entertainment is what I'm expecting to see is that they're going to do the same thing towards their games. They're also going to go all in on ideas that they actually believe in. Because if they can do it for their movies and series, why won't they do it for their games? That's just, it's the disconnect, right? Even K-pop is fucking popular, right? K-pop is a worldwide phenomenon. It's just the truth. So that's the thing. South Korea has this philosophy when it comes to entertainment that if they believe in it, they're gonna go all in, like all that budget, all in. They're gonna give you the experience as what their vision entails. That's why so many South Korean movies and series are that good. That's why Squid Game is a global phenomenon. Yeah. Because they just really believe in ideas and they go all in for those ideas. And I think that philosophy is going to apply to their games as well, because they've been making games for a while now, and they never change their ways. And if you're going to ask me, if China or South Korea is the more exciting, let's say, army of developers that's going to join the global space. Because again, these people are so passionate when it comes to entertainment. You got these games that you just seen, like Project Eve, right?
Okay, you have to be kind of fair as well, because I think the country, China does also.
No, it's true. People. Yeah. I mean, fairly, South Korean government is more, it is more laid back compared to China. That's also true. It's also true that they're more laid back compared to China. However, the only reason why I look forward more to what South Korean developers are gonna do is because I have experience in their games. And the second is I have experience in every media that they have, and that I just know that they always go all in and all out in what they believe in. And for example, in their games, even the gameplays that you can see in their games, you can actually see that they go all out. They, to believe the idea or their vision, they go for it. Even from these games like Crimson Desert or Lies of P that you're just seeing right now, they're inspired by an idea, they believe in an idea, they thought of an idea, and they feel strongly about it. They're gonna go all in for it. That's like South Korean philosophy when it comes to entertainment. That's why when you're gonna try to watch Korean movies or Korean series, a lot of them are such of high quality always because they really go in for it. Like not only the hard work but also the budget, and they don't sell it short. They don't half-ass it. That's like a wonderful thing. And arguably, South Korea is one of the most advanced countries in the world. It's just the truth.
It's
also
true,
one of the
though.
most advanced countries.
This is all facts. And then you've got Project Magnum. That's South Korean, right?
That's South Korean. Exclusive PlayStation and PC. For some reason, Shuei found a way to make a deal with Project Magnum. This is the funny part, and I talked to Prince about this a lot because we've noticed it. Shuei Yoshida is one of my favorite PlayStation people, right? That's I got his posts on notifications always, and if you're gonna browse into some of his posts, he has a lot of posts where he's eating Korean food. He's just posting it, right? The Korean food, but he's also mentioning that he's also in South Korea. So if you're gonna ask me, either he's having vacation, or he's trying to make some deals again, just like what he did with the China Hero Project. With China, and Project Magnum seems to be like that game that I'm looking for as proof of him actually starting to make deals with these developers, just like he did with China. And I think it's just a smart as fuck move because again, South Korea wants one thing right now is to break the global space. They want to penetrate the Western market. Every single entertainment they have, the K-pop, the K-dramas, the K-movies, and their games as well. They want to penetrate the Western market because they have not been able to do that for a long time. But they're still successful, but they still want more. And that's the beauty of it. And Project Magnum is that game that I was kind of like waiting for confirmation that Shuei Yoshida was actually making some moves. And then in South Korea,
and not just Project Magnum, Ultra Age. That's not South Korea.
Yeah, right.
And that's right. Also coming to PlayStation. So I don't know if that was.
No, I mean this is the thing. As long if it's PlayStation and PC only, then PlayStation must have made a deal with them because that's like most South Korean games are like should be multiplex. Normally they don't belong to anyone, right? Now, funny enough, this was something again that I was pointing out to some people. Project Eve was announced as a multiplat, and then it revealed itself on a state of play. Right? In a state of play, right? I know, state of play or PlayStation event. Sorry, basically a PlayStation event. And then the funny part is after that PlayStation event, for some reason, the Twitter account of Project Eve are only promoting PlayStation posts. Like you can go to Project Eve's Twitter account right now, and just scroll through everything they post, and you're only gonna see hashtag PlayStation. Like that's the only console that they're promoting for some reason.
That's
and
awesome.
as you know, the developers, they got that 260 PlayStation 5s. Who do you think that came from? Sorry, who do you think that came from?
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, there are
Microsoft bribe influencers, Sony bribe developers, and I know which one is more effective.
I'm gonna again. Shuei Yoshida. I love Shuei Yoshida's. He started this. Like he started looking into different parts of the country. Kina, for example, the founders of Kina, right? The two black brothers. I don't know what's appropriate. I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone, so I don't know how to say this, but those talented brothers, they're also from a different part of the world that is normally not really making
Just
games.
say the twins, those talented twins.
Yeah, the twins, exactly. And the same with, again, and then Shuei Yoshida went for China because he realized there's potential there that is untapped, and he went for it. And then again, now once again, South Korea, another untapped potential that he's going for. I don't know who's going to be the next country, but Singapore and Thailand has been also making their own Taiwan.
Is
has
Lost Soul
also been
aside South Korean?
no, it's Chinese.
Chinese.
So also aside. I want to show you something. For now, this is a PlayStation. This is a PC exclusive, but it's from Taiwan, an indie developer from Taiwan. Search the video called Thymesia.
Oh,
Thymesia.
Yeah, Thymesia. Yeah, I've
Thymesia. Thymesia.
Oh,
This is an indie developer from Taiwan, and it
Soul
looks
Reaver
like they're
meets-
also in.
Soul Reaver meets Dark Souls, right?
Yeah, exactly. It looks like it's
Yeah.
inspired by Soul Reaver and Souls games again, but it's what do you call this? It's executed really well. I'm
Yeah,
really
this-
excited
this
to play
has
it, to be
this has
honest.
got my excitement.
But
There's
that's the
pretty
thing. That's
cool
another
traversal
country
mechanics
that
as
is
well.
like.
Go on, sorry, Kira.
Yeah, so Thyme. Yeah, there it is, Thymesia. So that's indie developer from Taiwan. And, from what I've seen, it looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's just say, all right, fine. Graphically, I mean, it's a very, very small fucking team.
I love these visuals. These are just like typical clean, kind of Dark Souls-esque. You don't need better than this. Like, I'm happy with Elden Ring.
No, it's true.
That game looks it looks worse than Dark Souls 3 graphically.
It's true, by the way, Martinez. Yes, right now this is only a PC exclusive, but this is what I'm trying to say. The developers are still manifesting, though.
Mm-hmm.
These developers are starting to come out of the woodwork because they're starting to see that they might have a chance to take a crack at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like to enter the global space of gaming. These are developers that actually had dreams to be recognized as well as their games, and want to make good games and want to make games for people and make games that they want to make, and with China getting their opportunities, and again also South Korea getting their opportunities, these more and more developers from other parts of the globe will start to think that they will have a chance to.
And also,
to enter this space.
here's a thought. You remember Sony acquired? Is it Nexa? Is that what they're called? Not Nexa.
Nixus.
Nixus.
Yeah.
With Nixus, they can go to these devs and offer to make a port for a percentage of the cut. They can use Nixus and Visual Arts to, maybe a collab to assist these devs once they've released it on PC and it's done well. Yoshida can go to them and say, how would you like to have your game on console, and we can assist you in porting it over with our team who specializes in ports. And guys.
Yeah, it should not be underestimated. Like I said, the China Hero project, it opened some kind of portal, for developers who wants to enter the console space.
Bright Memory Infinite?
Yeah, no. Bright Memory Infinite is Chinese. It's Chinese as well. Yeah. And that's going to PlayStation, by the way. But it's going to PC and Xbox first.
Well,
They're the priorities.
It's already released on PC, so it's just waiting.
Then it's going to Xbox next, and then PlayStation 5 is maybe next year, when they get to work on it. But they did confirm it for PS5.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, the main point here, aside from South Korea being fucking exciting for me that they joined the console space, because I have been waiting for them to join. I have been playing games from them on PC, but I have been dreading that maybe they want more people to discover these damn games that they're making because they're so fun. And I'm excited to see that they're actually going for it now, and that's gonna be exciting. But the most exciting part about it is just gaming is just growing bigger, not only consumer based, but also the development side of things. So again, China Hero Project, the South Koreans, all of these opportunities that they get to make games in the AAA space, in the console space, in the global stage, this can inspire more developers to again take their own shot at it, and we get to see more games that are from inspired developers from other parts of the country. So many untapped potential still.
I'm listening to you right now, but is this a kid?
Right.
I can't screen share right now.
Okay.
But you'll see it in 30 seconds. There is a kid in DoKV who transforms into. I don't know whether she's a woman
K-pop.
or whether she's a
it's
kid.
like
But
it's like a K-pop. The clothes is very K-pop
she's
inspired.
wearing hot pants, dude. And she's how old? Like 12?
This is the thing. I want to.
Where's
You know,
pretension when you need
no.
them?
These are like considered cosplay, because there are kids in South Korea who loves to cosplay as their favorite K-pop. Not even in South Korea. A lot of kids from different parts of the world who loves K-pop get to like do
that
this.
kid
Like
that you're playing as looks a bit like Ash out of Pokemon.
it's like it's like living the dream in your imagination. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it, bro.
The
This
illusion.
game is K-pop personified, right?
The illusion of DoKV is really like just to make your imaginations back in the day kind of like alive, the way South Korean sees it, especially with their mythology put into it. So it's a bit personal for the developers, because these creatures are part of their mythology, and apparently they're really, really a valuable mythology, especially for kids.
Yeah.
And
Dude, this game looks insane. Honestly, it's one of my most anticipated games. I'm so excited for this because it's so different.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for
you know
it.
what? You know what's crazy is that I was asked in an interview I was kind of being interviewed by a YouTuber not too long ago, and he asked. It's called They Said We Said podcast, and he asked me how would I define video games in 3 words only. In only 3 words, and I said imagination interactively visualized. And this is that. This game is that. It's imagination interactively visualized. It's the most game of all games.
Like I said, when I saw DoKV, I said it's like a imaginary world I imagine this kid brought into life in front of me. And this is the thing, DoKV, again, another big example. So I watched the behind the scenes, in the development of DoKV, like the whole video. I think it's like 45 minutes. So I watched all of that, and so again, it shows me that Korean philosophy once again. And because what I'm trying to say is that they show that a lot of the things in DoKV are 3D scanned, even the houses, just to make them accurate to what you normally see in South Korea, like to make them feel nostalgic at the same time for people who have seen these places. And again, that's a lot of budget to put into to 3D scan everything, and then everything that the kids are doing, and the DoKVs, the Pokemon looking characters, they're all mocap, motion captured, all of them, even this young characters. The craziest part for me in the mocap process is the characters themselves, the kids, they're being mocapped by adults. When I first watched this trailer, I really thought kids were mocapping this because they were moving like actual children.
Yeah.
But then I found out that these are actual adults who are mocapping these young characters. And that blows my mind, because that's a lot
crazy, bro.
There's a lot of effort to make it to give you the illusion that they're actually young children, but you're an adult in a motion captures.
Yeah.
Like I said, again, so much budget for DoKV as well. And again, like I said, they go all in ideas that they believe in, and DoKV is like testament to one of those. After they showed me how much the effort they're actually giving.
And dude,
for this
it's also
for this
original.
game.
I mean, look at Plan 8. Plan 8 is so original. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. You've seen Plan 8, right?
Yeah,
Plan 8 is really cool.
Plan 8 is just incredible, dude. What we're seeing right now, it's like Horizon Zero Dawn meets
Terminator.
Terminator. Meets the parkour of Dying Light crossed with The Division, and thrown in a tiny hint of Outriders, although much better, much more delivered. It's insane, bro.
The craziest part for me with Pearl Abyss, like I said, the 3 games that they're developing looks nothing like each other, and you will not even guess that they're being made by the same developer, because of how different they all are to each
imagine
other.
if Sony acquired Pearl Abyss, bro. But
It's
pretty much a
Pearl Abyss
publisher,
is
though, aren't they?
Pearl Abyss is one of the it's one of the bigger no, it's actually one of the biggest publishers in South Korea. You got they got like over 500 developers right now, over 600, because they just acquired another big studio as well, who used to make a very popular MMORPG called EVE Online.
Yeah, EVE Online.
The best thing that they can do with Pearl Abyss is a partnership. A partnership with Pearl Abyss is actually a big deal if they can manage to make a partnership with them. Kind of like what they did with Kina, for example. So that kind of partnerships with Pearl Abyss, that can actually work.
Is Plan 8 coming to only PS5? Did you say?
This is no. Plan 8 is actually, so right now there's an MMORPG that is planned for next gen consoles and PC.
Okay.
Now this is what most South Korean games do when they announce a game. They don't mention which next gen consoles they are, because for some reason, like I said, there's like they have like a choosing process, or they are either gonna go multi-plat or they're gonna have a partnership with someone. Mm-hmm. That's why they normally don't announce which next gen console is, because when they know if it's multi-plat or not, that's the time they're gonna announce it. Like, all right, it's both for Xbox and PS5.
Makes sense.
Or this and that.
This is like an advertisement of their game, and they're gonna have offers and deals made.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
makes sense.
This is and that's like, with Project Eve. That's why I'm keeping my eye on Project Eve, because there's something so weird that is going on with the marketing right now for Project Eve, which is this game was initially announced as a multi-plat Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. But for some reason recently, they're only mentioning PS5 and PC. Mm-hmm. And I find that really weird for a game that was mentioned as a multi-plat. So I'm going to keep my eye on it, because I want to know if this is going to remain multi-plat or they have other plans for it. Makes sense. Yeah, right now Project Eve is in a weird place. Mm-hmm. And a lot of, you can go to their posts, a lot of, let's just say some Xbox fans are a bit angry that they only post PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So yeah. This is the thing.
They want that thoughtness. They want that thoughtness.
The best part about the best scenario for these developers is, for me, that they should go the multi-plat route, because they're trying to build a brand first. However, after building the brand, I think that's when they can start reaching out and they can start building relationships with who they want to build relationships with. Either it's Sony or Xbox.
What's your thoughts on this, Will? I think he's asleep.
I don't know what else we had. Honestly, like Akira, just like, to me, obviously on like that kind of topic, he has more knowledge than me. Like, all I can really do is like speculating, while Akira just also speculates, but with a lot more knowledge behind it all. So
I get you, bro. I get you.
Yes. I really don't know what else to add.
No problem, bro. You don't have to add that.
This unknown is a comedian. Like, Phil knows Asia is best.
I love it.
I mean, Phil flew to Japan, right? He did flew to Japan, as you know, as we all know.
No, good stuff, my dude. I mean, it's really exciting times, the developments that we're seeing in South Korea. And let me write this list off to you guys. Plan 8, Project Magnum, DokeV, Project Eve, Crimson Desert, Lies of P, Ultra Age.
Lies of P is very interesting, because it's a twisted Pinocchio story, which
it's crazy,
really
bro.
Cool.
Yeah, it's such a cool concept. It's such a cool concept. I love it. But all these games are being developed in South Korea, my dudes, and this is before you include the Chinese development market.
By the way, Gungrave, the sequel to that Gungrave PS2 game, the sequel is being made by South Korean developers, by the way.
Oh wow.
Gungrave.
I've never heard of Gungrave, my dude.
Gungrave is it wasn't PlayStation 2 before.
With gun.
Oh,
yeah, it had 2 games. It had 2 games in the PlayStation 2 before, and then after 2 generations, it got a sequel.
Good.
some of the old developers are with this Korean studio now, and yeah, they're making it. And to be honest, as someone who played the first two Gungraves, it looks like a real sequel. It looks like they nailed it and even improved upon what made Gungrave so great back then.
We'll have to check that out. So finally, my dudes, moving on because we're running low on time here. Just a quick one.
Gungrave Gore has a gameplay like a bit like I think 40 seconds gameplay.
Yeah.
At least.
Awesome. We'll check that out. But because we're running out of time, let's just finish on to the last topic. Battlefield 2042. It's a shocking launch on PC, full of bugs, very incapable of running. I've had a similar issue with Forza Horizon 5, incapable of running. And yet on PS5, Battlefield 2042 runs smoother than a baby's backside. It runs delicious. I did a pretty incredible sniper shot I'm really proud of, and I would, kind of love to share with you guys if that's okay. I'm going to quickly get this up for you guys because I'm really freaking proud of it, and it is what it is. But check this bad boy out. Hold on, let me. It's right now not there. There we go. Check this bad boy out.
Have been taken out.
So I'm being attacked by this helicopter. Moral of the story: don't bring a chopper to a gunfight. It won't work out for you. Headshot. Boom. Right. So yeah, I'm well happy with that. That was nuts. Battlefield 2042 runs incredible on PS5, at least in my opinion. It has its issues, a little hiccups because it's a newly released multiplayer game, but those issues are more netcode as expected. But on PC, it's another story, guys. It's not running well, and I've had a similar issue with Forza Horizon. So I just wanted your guys' thoughts about: is PS5 really the best place to play at the moment? And I know that can't apply to Forza Horizon. Xbox is obviously the best place to play with that game right now. But with games like Battlefield and third-party games that aren't really races, you have to deal with a lot of hackers on PC. So it kind of, in my opinion, you've got the consolidated player base exclusive to PS5 that you don't get on Xbox. And so, are we seeing, it's weird, with games like Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd prefer to have this on my PC, because my PC would be able to run it at higher fidelity. But when it comes to games like Battlefield 2042, I wouldn't want that game on PC. It's not the optimum experience, because you're dealing with hackers. You're dealing with kind of people using hardware to gain an advantage, and it's similar to Xbox as well, because you're dealing with the PC player base because of forced crossplay, whereas PS5 doesn't have that. And I just wanted your guys' thoughts. Do you prefer to play your multiplayer games on console, or if you have a high-end PC, do you prefer multiplayer games on PlayStation? Or would you just prefer to have all your games on a higher end PC that can run all those games in higher fidelity? What's your thoughts? Akira, are you there? Hello?
Akira? Okay, well,
what about you,
well,
Will?
Akira's not... Okay, yeah, well, that's sort of difficult, question to answer, because in terms of multiplayer, actually I like both, and that's it's more of a personal thing, because on PC I play a lot with a good friend of mine, and on console on the other hand I play a lot with my cousin, because my cousin's
You hear me,
only
right?
on PlayStation. Yeah, now we hear you.
Sorry, I wanted to say to Wooly is I was watching the Guardians of the Galaxy gameplay. The game looks really fun. I should get it. What I
Yeah,
said.
100%. Carry on, Will. Sorry,
Really
bro.
fun. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, while like I said, like while with console, I like to multiplayer with my cousins because they only own PlayStation, and now what? I think the problem is not necessarily with Battlefield like the platform because I think it could be like a publisher problem because couldn't like basically EA do something against those hackers? Couldn't they like basically I don't know what you can program or whatever but like do something so that hackers like aren't able to ruin people's time or have like a much harder time to ruin people's time. It's like that kind of like seems like a thing where it's like more of a problem on EA's side. So
I love that, but
don't
Roger
really-
likes to play his multiplats on PS, but his PS exclusives on PC. I'm trying to make sense of that, my dude. I can understand what you mean if it's a single player experience. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, I think is superior on PC. It's not a very well optimized console game at all, but when it comes to games like Battlefield, you're dealing with a lot of hackers and a lot of the issues that come with the lack of optimization. I've just found with games like Battlefield 2042, Forza Horizon is the same. It runs better on Xbox, but you've still got the crossplay, forced crossplay. However, crossplay isn't really an issue when it comes to racing games. At least I don't think it is. You haven't got a mouse and keyboard advantage with those games. It doesn't present an advantage. If anything, it presents a disadvantage to a controller or a steering wheel. But yeah, it's kind of got me thinking, guys. All these bugs on the PC versions, like I've got a 3070 monster rig and 32 gigs of RAM and a beast of a CPU, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, I honestly wanted Battlefield on my PlayStation and not on Steam. I could have got it for 30 quid cheaper on Steam, but it just isn't worth it to me. It's a funny one. Trying to fully figure out why that is. Akira, any last thoughts for you, my dude?
Yeah, no. What I just wanted to say is that I only play PC games that are only on PC because I got a good reason for it. Because PC games that I can only play on PC because if I have no choice at all. The reason for that is that in my experience, the console versions of games that are on PC are still better optimized compared to PC because my issue with PC sometimes, and I'm a bit of a lazy gamer, I don't like adjusting a lot of shit, before I game.
And relate, yeah.
So I always prefer a console version of a game that's available on console compared to even if the game is on PC, I would rather play it on console because, like I said, I don't want to adjust a lot of shit, and that's why I only play on PC when the game is only playable on PC. For example, it's an Xbox game or it's a PC game itself. That's the only time I'm gonna play on PC, or if it's in my emulator. That's it.
Yeah.
By the way, there is no shame in playing Erogus on PC. All right, there is no shame on that. Don't even try to shame me, man. Eroge is like it's like hentai games.
Oh shit. Fair enough. Okay.
And dude, you cannot shame me for that.
I
wear that.
Don't
I wear
ever
that.
ask me to touch your mouse and keyboard.
I wear that badge proudly. And no, it's not like that, man. You just really play a game, even if it's even if it's that kind of game. Yeah.
You talk about like a game like Catherine.
No. Way more explicit than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sexy times, quite literally.
the fact that Unknown knows they exist, that means he also plays them. That's the only reason why he knows them. Because yes, you do, but you would not know the term if you are not playing them. Don't even try. Don't even try.
Right.
But yeah,
So
but that's it.
We're gonna wrap it up there, my dudes.
Dude, Guardians looks so fun, man. Like, how much is that game right now? 60?
It's like $30 on in America right now. It's like super cheap.
Wait. It's $30?
Yeah, they're offering it for like $30.
What?
Black Friday's coming up, so you'll probably get it for a similar price.
Do you think it's gonna go on sale on Black Friday?
It's going for sale really cheap, very quickly.
You think? Even for a game like this, I mean, this game is
honestly
well
for
received.
real, dude, I'm not joking. It's gone cheap really quick. Game
Why?
ranks.
That's weird. I mean, this game is actually one of those games that I don't see a lot of.
It was GameCross. It was GameCross who showed the sale that was on. So yeah, it's just depreciated really quick. So it happens with some games.
What I find so cool about Guardians is it's one of those games that I don't see a lot of hate for, to be honest.
No, it's
like a lot of people.
Bro, it's an incredible game.
I mean, a lot of people who played it just really love it.
Yeah,
this game.
I actually expected like a kind of like heat wave for it, you know.
I expect Avengers, kind of division. But no, this game is so well loved.
It's a great game.
They were very happy when it won the October Players' Choice Awards.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Right, my dudes, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for an awesome show. I know we spoke about some more ideas than more topics than we had planned regarding this giveaway. I haven't forgotten. Don't you worry. Stay tuned, my dudes. We will be in touch with the winner. I'm not sure whether DZ wanted us to pick a winner right now on air, or whether to think it over.
Before we end this, DE said something like, "It's like saying cars. No shame in driving in cars." Bro, you remember what Mighty Keith said, right? Mighty Keith said. He said, "Why are you playing Forza when you can drive a real car in real life, right?"
Yeah, exactly.
You saw his video, right?
Yeah, funny video.
But so, it was just a joke. And
I'm not sure if DZ wants us to pick a winner right now, but
no.
We need verification, folks, that you have a Wii, that you have a Switch. Sorry, not a Wii. So be sure to either DM me on Twitter at Wooly_gamer with your Nintendo Switch ID or a picture of your Switch that you have, or you can message DZ X. That's at EXPSEVDAVIS Sev Davis. Alternatively, you can hit us up on our Discord. I'll drop the link just here right now. Copy. I'll post it here, guys, for you all in the chat. But Crudgy, I have a Wii U. I love that, my dude. And we'll get this giveaway for Metroid. I'm not sure if Metroid works on a Wii U. I don't think it's a.
No.
Yeah. But thanks very much for watching, my dudes. It's been an awesome show. And stay tuned for the lucky winner. We'll be announcing it on Twitter, and I'll also announce it on my YouTube channel as well via a post. So stay tuned for that. But it's been a hell of a fire show. Thank you so much for tuning. Wilhelm, where can we find you, my guy?
Finally, I somehow managed to trick Jack Dorsey and snuck my way back into the gifted realms of Twitter. I have a new account now. You can follow me under at Maximus Wilhelm. Jack Dorsey doesn't know anything about my mustache disguise. You know, I don't know what was up. Why they axed every single alt I created. I don't know if I slept with Jack Dorsey's wife or whatever, but it is what it is. Now I'm back. And I would appreciate if you give me a follow, because they axed my account, which had 300 followers, which was a lot for my standards. God, what do I want to say again? And yes, I know I ask that literally every single time I'm on this show, but Salty, if you need a funny man on your podcast, pretty huge comedian, you can hit me up anytime. I'm available. And
You heard it, Salty. Give this guy a DM. Send him an invite to the panel, to the podcast, for him to get a guest on your show.
God.
That would be
I
awesome.
mean, I may not be the most popular character on the show, but I'm certainly an
The
entertaining
funniest.
fellow.
You're
So
certainly the funniest.
I would appreciate it. And it was definitely a very great show, a very fun night I've had. It's always just great talking with you guys. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, for those who don't know, Wilhelm lost a close friend recently. He's been pretty low. So send him your love, chat. He's put on a brave face tonight to be with us tonight, and it's greatly appreciated, Will. So much love to you, my guy.
Dude, don't even.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Like again, I'm sorry, man, about that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But
we love you, dude. And
and don't mention Piece of Truth in this YouTube account, please. Like,
don't
no.
even. Yeah. I don't. Well, listen, mate. People can mention him all they like, because his name means nothing to me. He's the bitch of Twitter, in my opinion, and that's what I call him, and that's what I'll always call him. So that dude can, stick a fat one where the sun don't shine. I don't really care. And yeah, I don't mind you guys saying his name all you like. It's a parody to me. So the more you say it, the funnier it gets. Because it's just ironic to have such a name as that as well. But yeah, Akira, where can we find you, my guy?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter. You'll find me normally being chased by people who hates my guts or what I post or why I post shit at all. Like, I got this dude coming at me. I was fishing compliments or some shit like that because I was just asking if I can join the virtual photography community because I was not part of the community, and I'm not gonna welcome myself because I am inspired and respect those people who are part of that community.
You've done some
and this
really good
this
shots,
dude,
bro. I've been watching some of your posts. Really
no, thank you, bro.
Photo captures.
But yeah, this dude basically twisted my words and said I was fishing for compliments. So again, no matter what I do, you will see me, somebody telling me I'm the devil, basically. So yeah, you're gonna find me on Twitter for sure. I'm gonna be posting a lot about Asian games, not any game in particular. And I've been playing a lot recently, so you'll be seeing a lot of gameplay. And I also give movie recommendations because I love movies. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Wall Street starring Charlie Sheen.
By the way, no, you guys should also get Silk Sonic. The album is perfection, from Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. It's perfection.
Okay. So shout out to everybody in the chat who's joined us tonight. Thank you so much. Nelson Gaming, see you in the chat as well. Thank you for being here. DE, Brian King, Saltiest Gaming, Compost Smurf, Buck Roger, The Unknown. You're all super appreciated, my dudes. Every one of you. Shaky Shako, I know he's probably gone to bed and we'll catch up later. So shout out to him. All of you guys have been awesome tonight. You're deeply appreciated, all of you. And yeah, this podcast won't be where it is without you. We're 566 subscribers. We've gone up one. And we're getting closer and closer to that big 1,000. So lucky us. It's going places, guys. We were at 240 4 months ago. Would you believe it? So it just shows where we're going. So we're onwards and upwards. Much love to all of you.
I would just do a social experiment on Twitter. Just say like Xbox the best box. And I'm sure people will still hate me for it because they will say I'll be mocking Xbox and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Console wars will always be console wars, and the consoles will always be at war until obviously one no longer exists. So it's the status quo. You're always going to get fanboys. But as for this show, it has been phenomenal. One of my favorite ones yet, and I couldn't be more stoked, considering this was one of the lesser prepared ones, because topics have been a little dry recently, but it's been a good one tonight, fam. Stay tuned for that giveaway from Sev Davis, XP Sev Davis, or DZ. He has a copy of Metroid Dread, which one of you lucky winners and Switch owners will get. Those who have watched the show tonight, one of you will receive a copy. So stay tuned. Be sure to DM me again at Wooly_gamer, just to verify that you do indeed have a Switch. That would be appreciated. You can see my @ or my Twitter handle just below in the description. Don't hesitate, because you could very likely win. It's like we've got 32 likes, so it's 1 in 32 people so far will get the game. So at most, so that's going to be awesome. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Company of Gamers podcast, or the worldwide Company of Gamers podcast, rather. And we will see you guys next time, my dudes. Until next time, peace.
Take care.